Welcome, everybody, to the Monday Group Call. I am Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com, here with the entire team from Speaker Focus, the one and only Mr. Auston Troyer, my brother. Couldn't do it without him. We are here to go in heavy and hot today on the Monday Group Call, answering any and all questions pertaining to growing your speaker business. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell you it's showtime, when I get on this group call, I feel so special and I feel so honored to be your speaker coach and deliver this kind of quality content that you simply cannot find anywhere else on planet Earth. I love working with visionaries like yourselves because you understand me and you understand Austin and you understand what we're trying to do at Speaker Focus. Let me tell you something. When you're a pioneer, maverick, or trailblazer, when you have that kind of disruptive energy, you are going to catch some hell. And you're going to have to listen to some stuff in the beginning that's going to be difficult for you to listen to, but you just stay strong, take it easy, stay the course, and eventually your voice will be heard, especially when you're actually good at what it is that you do. So with that being said, I see the chat boxes just blowing up today, and I love it. Welcome to all new students. Some of you just signed on today, and you are already on the Monday Group Call. The people that have the most success on this platform, they utilize support at SpeakerFocus.com the most, and they show up on the group call because they want to answer the questions. Look at the results that we're getting every single week from people all across the globe. Okay, you already know what to do. We have use the raise hand feature for any of you that have questions, and I will get right to you in the order that I see you in the chat box. Obviously, if I see women in there before the gentlemen, I was raised to be a gentleman, so ladies are first, and then we will go in order after the first couple. So while I'm waiting, let me see, I got somebody. Okay, Harvey says he's here, but he cannot see or hear anyone. Let me see, Harvey. Let me answer this live. Let me see, Harvey. Where's Harvey? Harvey, child. Let me see, Harvey, allowed to talk. Harvey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you and hear you now.
Oh, got it. Okay, I just want to make sure you were taken care of. Welcome to the group call, Harvey.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so let me see. We're just able to talk. And okay. Now, I don't see any hands, but I do see a lot of action in the chat box. Excuse me. So as I'm waiting, okay, I see Charlene just had her hand. Okay, let me see. All right, let me go through. Charlene, I'll be right with you. Just want to make sure that I see everyone in here. There's too many people today to go down the line. I'm just going to say welcome all. Let me see if I just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Yes, we are doing great. I love it when the students show each other love on the platform. We surely appreciate each and every one of you. Let me see. Yeah, there was sound. I just had I had the mute on and I had my picture up there in the beginning. I do apologize about that. I was just trying to make sure I had all my stuff in order before I started. Let me see. Okay, I just want to make sure. All right. Okay, yep, I got the audio issue. Yeah, I just had it on mute. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. Everybody's saying KTR is on mute. I'm here, ready to work hard for you like always. Okay, let me go through. I just want to make sure no one else had a question. Yeah, Anita, written all over your face by the Rude Boys. That was a song from the early 90s. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. I love you back. I love you back. Okay, I'm almost through the chat box real quick. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions to start. And Charlene, I'll be right with you. Okay, and welcome to all the new students again who are there. This is their first time coming onto the Speaker Focus platform, and you're about to get a full frontal view of what this is all about. Hey, Charlene Giselle, how are you?
I'm really great, KTR. Thank you. Apparently, we all worry when we can't hear your voice, you know.
Oh, it's all good. You know, I wouldn't let you down. I just had some things I had to straighten out before I jumped on here and give you my singing voice. How are you today?
It's not a Monday night if I don't get to see you now. You gotta have it, you know?
Exactly. See, we're addicted to each other now. Every Monday, same time, same place. This is how it goes down.
Look, well, first of all, I just wanted to share my gratitude as always. So good to be part of this community and to see you. I just wanted to run something by you. So basically, I am doing another presentation tomorrow for a recurring corporate client, which I'm really excited about. Okay. But last time I did the training, it's actually the slides that I sent you and you gave me such generous feedback. I was just thinking and reflecting a lot on the course module and a lot of the things that you've been saying. And I've decided to add it to very quick case study. So the reason for that is just to add a bit more persona and personality to the workshop, because the feedback that I got from my previous client when I gave it was that it was very, very good. The material was so useful, but maybe if there was like a story or two, it would have been like even more impactful.
Okay.
So, first of all, how do you feel about that? And second of all, do you like the idea of case study? Why case study? Because obviously, work is confidential. So what I've done is I've based it on 2 real clients. I just changed their name.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Absolutely. If you're working under NDAs, which you're going to do with a lot of high profile clients, I've been in that space since I've been 18 years old, working with high profile, high net worth athletes, celebrities, entertainers. NDA is pretty standard when companies want to protect their intellectual and creative properties. I know one of my first Fortune 500 clients that I got a chance to service was Bristol Myers Squibb back in the early 90s. And when you're working with pharmaceutical companies in specific, all of them have proprietary information that they want kept under wraps. And it's important. So now let's get back to the question that you asked me about sharing case studies and sharing your story. Now, it's cool to change the names, but the fact of the matter is that you do have the experience. So here's what you need to remember. All of you need to remember this. Remember, Charlene, the art and science behind delivering the message. Number 1 is when you're making a point. You may start out with 360 base sustainability. And then you're going to let them know what you came here for, exchange pleasantries, give them the title of the program, let them know you're a resource and that you come here to be able to help them. What I like to do is I like to use the power of suggestion. Today, I'm going to share real data with you. I'm going to share case studies. I'm going to tell you my personal testimony, my story of how it's going to tie into you having a more sustainable lifestyle, how you can become more healthy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You got it? Then the next thing is after you make a point, you're going to open up the point. Why do you want to open up the point? Okay, so sustainability, 360 based sustainability. What we're going to learn today is the following. And first, before we get into the training, just by show of hands or virtually in the chat box, and you want to ask them this question: how many people have had a really, really rough day in leadership? How many people have felt like they had low energy? You haven't felt like you were at your best to perform at a high level? Everybody should have 2 hands up, right? Why do you want to open up the point, Charlene? You want to make yourself relatable. You want to let them know that you are not coming in here as the expert. You are a resource. So watch this. I'm going to share with you how I used to be pretty horrible at having some sustainability. I used to fizzle out like a sparkle at the 4th of July. I'm going to show you today. I'm going to pull some pages out of my own personal playbook and share with you how you can do this, how you can do that. Charlene, am I making sense? Okay, remember, make a point, open up the point. Then next is make an example of the point. Now here is where it's really going to focus on everything you asked me. When you're making an example of the point, you are going to share statistical data, case studies, real life experience. If you haven't lived it, don't talk about it. You are going to share humor or funny story when it's appropriate. And you're going to speak from your heart. That is how you galvanize all of the opening paragraphs and the bullets that's found inside of your signature programs. Recap, make a point, Open up the point for audience participation and interaction. You want them to know you're real, you're relatable. Then make an example of the point. Here's where you're going to win big right here. Value, 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 and deliver more value. Always be willing to over deliver. Then last thing is bring closure to the point. What I always say to my audience when I'm presenting, especially when I'm facilitating half day, full day programs, 2 to 4 hours, 4 to 8 hours. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember, or does anybody remember the 3 R's to success that I shared with you? R number 1 was what? Research, everyone. That's right. And when you do an overabundance of research, what happens? What do you do next? You hit the what? You hit the what kind of button? The recall button. After you hit the recall button, what pops up, everyone? Resources. Exactly. I have them do, I recap what we learned, a soundbite or some type of data that I shared with them. Maybe not all of it, but just something, just so I can keep them engaged. Make a point, open up the point, make an example of the point, bring closure to the point, Charlene. Next, last but not least, transition and pivot right into the next point. Here's what it sounds like. I know we were talking about sustainability-based leadership. And I know we were talking about the 3 R's to success. I know we were talking about how you shouldn't burn out, how you can prevent that. When we come back from the break, or the next bullet I want to go into is going to talk about this. It's going to talk about, and you set up your next point and you start the loop all over again. Absolutely. Do I want you to share case studies? Yes. If you've lived it and you've been through it and you've been through hell and you've overcome it, do I want you to share it? Yes, because all of that stuff makes you relatable. Do you have any other questions?
No, this is great. Could I very briefly share just one? It's a very short one, but just to give you a little flavor and for you to tell me your opinion.
Absolutely. This is what the group call is for. I have all night long for all of you. Let's go. Let me hear it.
Okay. So when I'm talking about my burnout recovery story, so I just shared a little case study. As I've explained earlier, one of the crucial stages of burnout is when you lose interest for the things that you love, because that's when you depersonalize with yourself. And this can be very dangerous. And it was so, it was very well illustrated by one of my clients, Alice, who started to work with me when she'd been signed off for burnout. Alice had a little dog, and although that may seem like just a side comment, she hadn't walked her dog for 2 years before she was signed off. And when I started to investigate, it turned out that that morning walk with her dog was that one thing that made her happy and made her whole day seem precious again. Not only did that walk with the dog make her bond at an emotional level, but it actually turned out that when Alice was walking the dog, she was burning over 400 calories and walking 10,000 steps every day. But Alice stopped walking the dog and the burnout started. So it's just a little story. It's really tiny, but it's just because I want to demonstrate how people stop doing what they love. And the second case study is very brief, and it's about another client, Paul, who stopped playing golf. And it's actually how, like, when you stop doing what you love, you stop being who you are.
Yes.
And you just, you know, you actually have to keep doing those things that you love to be able to perform at work. Even though they may seem insignificant, they're a contributor to who you are at a very deep level.
Absolutely. Listen, first of all, I love the story about the lady walking the dog, and also the story about the gentleman who played golf. Now, this is the very thing, well, I should say, the very thing that makes you a great speaker is that you're compassionate and that you have very warm tonality when you speak. So that is making a connection with the people in your audience. You're sharing with people a story, or you could share something from your experience of how, you know, we've all been there before when we burn out. We've all been overworked. We all haven't been able to access enough resources, develop our level of skill. If you want to perform at a higher level, if you want to be able to produce more, then you must increase your level of skill. That's the only way production is going to rise. But how are you supposed to do that under stressful situations? Well, you hire Charlene Giselle, and her strategies will teach you how to do that. You see, that's why we have the marketing language. That's why you lay such a beautiful foundation for all of your signature programs, because what it does is it's so much needed right now. Remember, we're in a global mental health crisis. People are suffering, they are struggling, and you are literally a lifeline, life raft, if you will, to save them, to keep them afloat, to help them provide some type of real system that they can follow so they can work their way out of it. Sometimes the answer is right up under their nose, but it's called third-party validation. This is why they need to hire a speaker. They may chat a lot about, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that, but they don't really have a system. You know why? Because they don't know how to facilitate. They don't know how to get themselves out of it. A lot of times we can't even see when we're in a bad spot, but third-party validation is hiring a speaker, a contractor, a coach, a consultant from the outside, and they can take a look at your organization to right the wrongs and fix the dysfunction that's happening. I believe you're going down a really a solid path with your signature programs. Every time you show up on Monday, you impress me even more. And that's the reason why you're going to be a high fee speaker. And I'm going to be there with you every step of the way. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing great. Remember, you're welcome. Make the connection through what you have. We are all blessed with something that is very unique. You are blessed with warm tones in your voice. You are also blessed with your pitch, your resonance, the height of your voice, the accuracy, the cadence, the timing. You're very patient as well. That's what I love about you. And as a woman, you need that. You don't want to be all over the place with your emotions. Remember, you want to be polished, poised, and professional. You were already that before you showed up. Now you're getting even better. Every single week, I hear something come out of you that you didn't say the following week, and you're taking it right to the meeting planner and you're implementing these strategies immediately. And that's the reason why you're great at what you do. You got any other questions?
No, that's fine. The only other little story that I prepared is the one about me, which I found the hardest because I find it hard to talk about me in a corporate setting. So it will be the first time tomorrow I do that. Just hope it goes well.
Okay, it will. Stay optimistic. Remember, when you're telling your story, just make sure that you tell all the key points. You want to be able to share the story, but more importantly, you want to give them the how you got out of it. You want to be able to let them know that you weren't always in the situation that you're in right now, having all this knowledge. You weren't always a facilitator. You weren't always a person who had their act together. You want to be able to go back to when you were on, you want to go back to when you were not as skilled. See, everybody wants a chance to be successful just like you. And I see a deadly sin that speakers make is that you talk down to your audience in a condescending fashion. You don't have that issue, Charlene, because your tonality is so warm. You're very personable. You make a great connection. So when you're telling your story, just speak from your heart. Remember, you want to let them know. The reason, what I always start out with is that the very thing I'm teaching them is the thing I tell them I used to be horrible at. And it's the truth. You don't come in and speak to an audience with that level of skill when you get to this stage at your career. Everybody on this platform is talented. Everybody is a subject matter expert. Everybody is a specialist. Everybody's a leading authority and a trusted advisor. The key is, are you willing to be vulnerable? And were you willing to feel compassion for your fellow business professional that's in front of you? And are you willing to dig down deep and be truthful about where you come from? Because we all didn't start at the top. And that's what people want to know. Charlene, they want their chance to win a Super Bowl ring. They don't want to be the weakest team in the league every single year who can't make it to the playoffs. People want to know what it's like to win. They want to make it to the playoffs. And when you get in the playoffs, then I want to know what kind of experience does it take to win it all? And that's what your job is as a speaker. Your job is to give them the how-to so they have the opportunity to have the same level of success that you had. At least give them the action steps to do it.
So can I test it and run it by you very quickly?
Of course you can.
Okay. Sorry. Okay,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
going all
hold on for
out
a second.
today, Katia. I've thought about this all weekend. I thought this is it. I'm going to the group and I'm gonna.
It's okay.
So very quick. So the reason
Take
I'm
your
here
time.
today to talk
Don't
to you
rush.
about burnout, and I'm so passionate about it, is because I had to learn it the hard way. You see, when I burnt out, it took me all the way to an ashram in India where I went to recover. However, it was really hard for me to realize that the key and the core to my burnout was due to overdoing and underbeing. And this is the reason I am so passionate about teaching you some of the keys that I wish I had, and perhaps I wouldn't have burnt out in the first place. The beauty of my burnout is I can stand here today and teach you the tools that I wish I had been taught before. Listen in stillness, silence, and learn the art of sitting down to rest, release, and build resilience. Those are the keys to not be constantly in the chase of overdoing and learning to be more. It's practicing the art of beingness.
I love it. I love it. Nice and calm, polished, poised, and professional.
Okay, thank
You
you.
just you present beautifully. You use tactful, you use finesse, diplomacy. You're very skillful. It's an art. This is the art and science behind delivering a message. See, that's the part. That's actually the strongest part of who you are as a speaker. Now,
And
once
it's
you get
not
off,
too woo-woo for corporate, you don't find it too fluffy, too woo-woo?
no, that's not fluffy and woo-woo at all. Again, I'm telling, watch this. This is the best way to start your story. See, listen, they don't want to hear all of this stuff about how successful you are. You can't do it from the top down. They want you to start from the mud. I want you to tell me how it all started. You told me that it wasn't always like this. I struggled with burnout. This is my story. This is what happened to me. And this is how I turned it around. And this is how you can do the same exact thing. See, this is the beauty in having real facilitation skills. That's not too fluffy. No, just because you show your audience love and compassion and you are willing to reveal and be vulnerable, that doesn't mean it's fluffy. Fluffy doesn't mean soft. That doesn't sound motivational to me. That sounds real to me. That sounds to me like my facilitator today is not going to fill me full of fluff, but she actually has been through some stuff. And she's here to provide value. If I listen, I'm going to learn something. That's what you want. You got any other questions?
No, that's it for today. I'm so grateful. Thank you for your patience and thank you for the good support. Thank you so much for your advice.
You're very welcome. Don't ever rush when you go through your word sequences. They're very beautiful. I could listen to them all day long. You're doing a great job. Keep me informed. Send me a support ticket and let me know how your story worked with your next booking that you're getting, and keep me abreast, and we will help you negotiate all your other deals that you got working right now as well. Okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Outstanding job. I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, what do you want me to say? If it's horrible, I'm going to tell you it's horrible. If you knock it out of the park, like Charlene always does. Why? Because she does the work. She listens. She shows up for the group call. And it's damn near midnight where she is every single Monday, but she still finds a way to show up on the group call. Listen, it's about putting in the work. BJ, I do see you next. Lisa Allman Baldwin, I see you. Alex, you're all up next. Let's start with Lisa Allman Baldwin. Lisa,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing super fantastic. Lisa, let me tell you something about today. Today, I have a word for the day. And this really set the tone for early this morning when I got up. And this is just for the rest of the year. My mindset for the rest of the year is exuberance, right? Exuberance. I feel excited about the things that I'm working on and the things that me and Austin are working on, personal goals. I feel exuberant. That's the word for the day. How about you? How you doing?
Oh, let's see. So my word, if I come up for a word for the day, is blissful, I guess. That's my word
Nice.
for today. Word for the day. So real quickly, I wanted to send some props to Charlene. I love listening to her every Monday. She asks great questions. She's always talking about the gigs she has coming up. And
Yep.
Charlene, that opening you just gave was fire, 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 fire. Loved it. So keep going. You help the rest of us keep going too. So Kev, my question for you is, as you know, you helped me this past week on a situation I had with someone who was interested in me speaking, and they pulled in their speaker bureau pretty quickly. So, and so I started thinking after that probably that's going to come up now and again, and this would be great for everybody else too. So can you just go in a little bit more on how to deal with, and what the angle, I guess, or the perspective, I should say, that the Speakers Bureau is coming from. So just for everybody else, really quickly, is I had a strategy call with someone that went really well. We set up a follow-up appointment, and then a couple hours later, I got an email from the Speakers Bureau that handles the potential speakers and the contracts for this one annual conference. And so the Speakers Bureau had asked a bunch of questions that I didn't know, know, what they wanted. And so then I pulled Kevin in on that. But again, since this will probably come up a lot with Speakers Bureau, if you can just kind of go into more how to handle that and what they're going to be asking and what, where they're coming from.
Sure. There are many people on our platform that do bureau work. And there are a lot of specialty bureaus. For example, Michael Towers is one of our top coaching students on our platform. And Michael's he's a very astute mental health professional. So he is represented by, and he had a long-standing relationship with somebody, but when he finally got all of his signature programs finished, he got all of his marketing materials finished, they reached out to him and they wanted to partner with him because they are technically a human resource. They strictly book mental health professionals, but they are a human resource speakers bureau. It's all kinds of niche speakers bureaus out there. So anytime you are working with the bureau, if you want to work with the bureau, it does not give you the control that you want, but sometimes, like in Lisa's case, they're going to pull a bureau in because they're more comfortable with the bureau handling logistics. The bureau will literally take care of everything. So in Lisa's case, for example, I'm going to use that as an example. They reached out to Lisa and they wanted to connect with the speaker because they wanted to make sure that her fee was commensurate with the budget that they were offering for the event, which it was in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. They also wanted to ask her, what is your meal per diem? What's the travel? Is our commission going to be on top of the fee, or is it going to be taken out of the fee? So you have to work all these things out on a case-by-case basis because every bureau is different. A bureau is a headhunter and they want their commissionable fee like everybody else. So it's your job to be able to work with them. You can still make money. And Lisa, I advised her on what to do. She sent them back an email and now she's waiting for a reply for them to send her back so they can just check off everything. She's going to get that gig because they have a date, they have a budget, her fees fit the budget. She said the travel, they wanted to offer her a travel budget, I believe was $750 to $1,000. We don't want to act like a prima donna, and we don't want to say we need a travel budget of $2,000. I need to bring my dog on the flight with me and an extra person and this. You'll get your opportunity to have those kind of gigs, but you don't want to make it difficult. Remember, you want to teach the Speakers Bureau or the meeting planner to give you money, and you want to teach them how to do business with you. So anytime you're working with a bureau, I'm going to say that if the bureau is serious, how do you know that they're serious? They have a date to offer you. They have a venue for you to speak, and they are talking about a budget. When they're talking about those three things, and in Lisa's case, they are, and they were, it's, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that booking, or at least have your name in a hat at a high level of contention for that engagement. Now, that's the good side of working with a bureau. And that's what it feels like when it's a good fit. But a lot of times I see speakers trying to force their way into speakers bureaus, and it's not a good fit. And that you don't have any of the leverage, because the speakers bureau's job, they're not skilled at lead generation and marketing. What they're skilled at is facilitating logistics. They're good at, matching a venue with a meeting planner, calling up the speaker. If I wanted to, I could get any speaker in the world if I wanted to. I could take a fee if I wanted to. I'd say, hey, Les, I got somebody in the Ukraine. While you're in Germany, they want you to fly to the Ukraine. They want to hire you to speak. Okay, but I'm already going to be in Germany. I'll fly over to the Ukraine. How much are they talking? My international fee is 200,000. Okay, yeah, they don't have a problem with paying the 200K USD, but I'm the middleman to put together the deal, and I want 20%. Please, and they give me 20% just like that, or they give me 10% or whatever it is that I wanted. So a bureau, let me be clear about this, because speakers don't understand this. Now, in all fairness to Lisa's not relying on the Speakers Bureau. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa. She's not relying on the Speakers Bureau as a form of revenue. She's not relying on them to get the bookings all the time. Lisa, would that be correct?
Right. This was a bureau that is working with the entity that I had the conversation with, and they contacted me and said, we handle all the logistics.
Yeah, they just got pulled in because the entity that she's referring to, a lot of times they may have a policy where they just don't want to get involved in it. They're not really good at managing the logistics of the speaker. So what they do is they hire an agency or they hire a speakers bureau, and that's what they did. They got involved and they started negotiating with Lisa. Lisa sent over all the details. They reached back out if they had any additional questions. So remember that if you're thinking about doing bureau work, the best kind of way to do bureau work is with a bureau who specializes in something. Like Michael Towers is working with the HR bureau, and they specialize in booking mental health professionals. That's right in his niche. He didn't have to go really outside of that. They already got him 2 bookings at one for 3,000. I think the other one is for 5,000. And they got a lot of stuff they want him to do in 2022, but he really worked hard. That is a relationship that he built with them over a number of years to be put in that position. Last thing about bureaus. If you were thinking about doing bureau work, understand that especially with the biggest bureau, and I deal with people like this every single day who are in the top 20% of people that I speak to. They're New York Times bestselling authors. They're high profile athletes, celebrities, entertainers. All of them have booking managers and agents and PR firms and all of that kind of stuff. And they all say, well, Washington Speakers Bureau reached out to me. They represent Ariana Huffington. Well, Ariana Huffington's speaker fee is probably around 75 to 150K. Well, you're not Ariana Huffington from the Huffington Post. You're not on a celebrity fee structure. So therefore, you are going to be in competition. Let me say it again. You are going to be in competition with literally 30,000 speakers in one speakers bureau. They're headhunters, but they are not going to make you number one. But in your speaker business that we're teaching you, nobody's going to be at the top except for you. That's why we're teaching you lead generation. That's why we're teaching you all these strategies of how to get your messaging organized. Now, Michael was a good fit for that speakers bureau because he built everything that we taught him in Speaker Focus, and then he gave it to them, and his landing page on their speakers bureau site is fire because he had the right content on there, and he is an outstanding speaker. So that's my take on speakers bureaus. If you decide to work with one, they are not going to make you number one. In the case where they're just stepping in, like they were doing with Lisa, just to get they're basically stepping in to make sure that the deal goes down the way they need to go down, because the meeting planner is really not skilled at doing that in this particular case. But speakers bureaus will not, I repeat, they will not make you number one because they're not designed to make you number one. They're designed to take the media darling or whoever's going to get them the higher fee so they can get their commission, and then they move on to the next person. So if you're in a speakers bureau right now, and anybody watching this, and let me get real close, if you're in a speakers bureau right now, and you're not getting any work, it's because their job is not to market you. So start doing the work and figure out how to market your speaker business, and you won't have to hold your breath and sit around and wait on anybody. Lisa, was that enough content for you?
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Love the Monday group. I love the Monday group call. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Did you have any more questions?
That was it. Thank you.
Okay, keep me abreast of what's going on. Remember, keep the meeting planner very close to you and stay engaged.
Okay, got it.
Talk to you real soon.
Thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. Okay, so let me see. Was that let's disable the talking. BJ, I'm gonna be right with you, brother. Let me see. Dream Justice. BJ, new to the speaker coaching platform. BJ, talk to me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and thanks. And I'd like to give a special thank you for all of the participants tonight. Kevin is outstanding, and I look forward to getting his expertise. I have a couple of things,
Yes, sir.
Kevin, and the first thing is with the module on signature programs, do you want us to send you all of the programs, all 4 at one time? Or is it okay once we finish one signature program to send it and then send the others as we finish?
Absolute great question. You can do it either way. What some people do, if they're not really skilled at writing, what they do is they give me a little sample of their signature program. They say, hey, KTR, am I moving in the right direction? The typical things that happen, BJ, when people send over the signature programs, when they send over one, let's say they write it in first person. It's not supposed to be written in first person. It's supposed to be written in third person. Let's say the bullets are a little thin. They're not descriptive enough. I tell them to go back and read the instructions and then send it over to me. If you want to send me a sample of one of your leadership programs, I'll be more than happy to review it. If you want to fill out the whole signature program, some people can crush it. You're an author, so it's probably going to be a little easier for authors because you have a writing ability. But typically, on average, it takes about 2 or 3 times, with the exception of Rafael Escobar sent over his signature programs. First time, hit it out the park. Lisa Allman Baldwin, first time, boom, hit it out the park. Laurel Erica, I got a short list of people who send it over one time. And it doesn't need I don't need to touch it at all. But that's very rare. Writing is not everybody's best skill set. So it's either way you want to do it. I'm going to give you the feedback on it. I'm going to tell you what's wrong. It's not descriptive enough. You didn't follow the instructions, whatever it is. 2 or 3 times max, and we'll be done on the other side of your signature programs.
Okay, sounds good. And one other question.
Yes, sir.
I found that when I was working on this particular signature program, I can see how this is going to take me at least a month to develop, or at least to master, because of the different details that I have to flesh out in each one.
Okay.
Each one of the bullet points. Now, it might take less time, but I can tell it's going to take a while. But my question is, for those bullet points where you want to capture the audience, is it a good idea to master storytell in a way where you use something that has existed and it's public and get the audience to understand why it's important based on that story?
Okay. Rephrase the question.
So, for example, if I wanted to show how diversity is important,
Okay.
and I use the example of why Heineken pulled a commercial 2 years ago, and I can go into what happened if you want me to, and illustrate that to the audience and show why diversity is important through that story, do you think that would be effective?
Absolutely, because you're utilizing, that's part of your case study, which if taking things, and that's a great question, taking things from pop culture is very important. Because if I went back to shout out to all my old school people, if I say ROLAIDS spells what? Somebody would say Rolay spells relief. If I say what car gives you over the feeling? Oh, Toyota is over the feeling. I could go over any type of successful ad campaign, and Madison Avenue has laid out a very clear blueprint about this, where they stir up some emotion in you to make you remember that particular brand. So obviously, if you're utilizing a story that is from pop culture, that, oh, does anybody remember that Heineken commercial that was out a few years ago? And it was a woman walking across the beach in a red bathing suit. Oh, yeah, we remember. Boom, it'll trigger the, and then what you do is you tie in your point to the story, and it galvanizes it. It galvanizes the point. It makes the bullet more real. And it says, oh, wow, that was very clever the way he did that. Now, BJ, you and I talked about this even prior to us onboarding you into the coaching platform a couple of days ago. You have a very rare gift that you're able to tell a story and strip it down and make it real. And that's what people want to hold on to. So do I want you to utilize that? Absolutely. So now let me give you another thing in addition to what you just said. Storytelling is great. If you are a storytelling keynote speaker, it's even better. I know a list of 100 speakers that's their style. They have a story that they tell. Trevor Romaine is one of our top coaching students on our platform. Trevor is an excellent storytelling speaker. That's the kind of speaker that he is. I'm not a storytelling kind of speaker. I've never written a speech. I've never written out an entire speech. What I've done is I've memorized millions of bits of data in my head about time-tested leadership strategies, and I pop out the right leadership strategy based upon the type of audience that I have. I call it KTR's mechanics of communication. I am going to present and customize my leadership style based upon the personality type, based upon the audience demographic. I can literally tell if I have 1,000 people in my audience, I can do a scan like this, 180 degrees, and I can say I got 60% men in here, 40% women. I got to use softer tones. Within a second, I can say, okay, what is the different generations in here? Okay, I'm looking. I got mostly Generation X and baby boomers in here. I got about 26% Generation X. I got about 40% baby boomers, and I got some millennials in here as well. So I got to keep it entertaining. I got to use some compassion. You got to know when to turn it off and turn it on. So I am customizing leadership strategies. And then when I tell a story, it's not the type of storytelling. Some speakers take an hour to tell a story, literally. But the way they do it is so sweet. That's their style. When I tell a story, I hit it. I make an example like, hey, remember the Heineken commercial from a couple years ago? And I may spend 5 or 7 minutes with that particular story, tying it into a point, and I get off of it and I go back into something that has some meat on the bone. So if you're going to utilize stories, I suggest that you do them very briefly, unless your whole presentation is based on a story. Oh, I got my arm was chopped off by a shark attack. Let me tell you how it happened. Let me start a week before. And see, they're taking you through the process before the shark attack happened, after how they healed up, and now they're on tour telling their story. Or how Sully landed the plane on the Hudson Bay and nobody died. That's a story. You could literally create a keynote speech out of an entire story. But what I like for you to make a point, open up the point, make an example of the point. When you're making an example, tell your story. But it's not going to take an hour. Use statistical data. Make sure that you tie in some real life experience. I love it when you reference other things from pop culture, but I love it more when you talk about yourself. I love it more when you talked about how you used to be on your ass and how you overcame that particular thing and how you're standing strong right now, standing in front of me, giving me the how-to. Don't just tell me what you did, but give me the how-to. BJ, am I making sense to you thus far?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Okay. I mean,
utilize your skill, brother. You have that skill you have the ability to move through storytelling. I suggest you use it. Not every speaker's like that. Let me tell you something. I've seen speakers bomb trying to tell a story, trying to sound like somebody else. I've seen speakers bomb trying to be funny using inappropriate humor, and it turns the audience off. But when it's real, you could stumble over your words. It doesn't have to be perfect. When you're speaking from your heart, when you're opening up your heart, that's a home run every single time. All we're giving you is a baseline on the speakerfocus.com platform, because without those signature programs, you are not able to lay the foundation properly to build. This is a building a business, not just building a message and not just telling a story. And that's the reason why speakers don't have success in this industry, because they try to do too much of one thing and not enough of everything that you need in this industry to have some sustainability. BJ, did you have any other questions?
Outstanding. No, that was phenomenal. Appreciate the guidance and support. Looking forward to working with you and the entire Speaker Focus family. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, BJ. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And BJ, remember, when we're dealing with, last but not least, I'm going to disable BJ's talk. And just one last comment, and then I'm going to get to Alex. BJ, remember, when you're dealing with very educated people like you, you know, you're wrapping up the master's or the doctorate program. We got tons of them on our platform. I want you to simplify when it comes to the messaging. I want you to just get the idea out of your head, get the creative part out the way, because we will never suppress or step on your creativity. I want you to get the idea out first, send it over to me, and then let me polish up smooth over the rough edges, send it over to you for some feedback, let you make any corrections if necessary. And then by the time I send it back over to you, we should be done. You're gonna knock it out the park. I know you are. Alex, talk to me, brother.
Hey TTR. Hi everybody. It just like everyone said before, it's just really inspiring to hear everyone's calls, and welcome to everybody who's here. Especially if you're new to the platform, it's really transformative is one way to say it. I guess my word of the day is productive.
Nice.
Yeah, so I guess it's not really a question, but it's more towards like, you know, feedback. So one of the things that's been really helping me out, especially getting Trevor's gigs booked, or if I just finished a gig with Trevor, is I do like a traffic light challenge. So basically I do, okay, what's not working, like the reds, you know, yellow for what's improved, and then green, like what kept working. So that this could be more towards the speaker info kit. This could be more in the automations, if there's something needs to be refined, if it's more in the messaging that needs to be refined. But yeah, I just wanted to add that. And then Trevor's been getting a lot of press too. So one way, you know, with your signature programs is to also, you know, it could also be leveraged to press as well. So a lot of it's been picking up with Trevor and his storytelling stuff.
Yes.
Especially because he's speaking in San Antonio next week. And I know I've been catching up with a couple of you guys, other students in Speaker Focus as well. So the next 2 weeks will be kind of crazy for me, but I'll make time when I can. So that's all I had.
Let me ask you a quick question. So the gig in San Antonio, was that part of the block of dates that you sent me in an email several weeks ago?
Yes, so that was part of that block booking. So yeah, that's part of that. It's also under his nonprofit wing as well. So they booked the locations, and then they got 2 other big clients for the fall. So I'm also trying to use that to block book as well, because they're trying to get him go towards more the East Coast. So I don't have to book on the flights, and like you said, like try to book him in between. And I use that messaging about, hey, you know, Trevor's swinging by, are you interested in stuff? So I'm just waiting to hear back on a couple of gigs right now, but the press is like, yeah, sure, let us know what dates and he's in, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
that's because you got it all set up the right way. Let me ask you a question. Did you bother to create a publicity one sheet for Trevor for the media?
Yes. I have an EPK, it's an electronic press kit, and then I have a one sheet.
Nice.
Yeah, and then what was the last thing I had? Yeah, EPK, and then of course they really like your demo reels, like your speaker demo reel and stuff. Like if it's on YouTube and stuff, the press can easily pull that, which has just been really nice, just linking it to it. Yeah.
I mean, they just want to know that you're for real, and the media is even worse than the meeting planner, because they get bombarded every single day with people saying, oh, you should put me on TV, you should put me on radio, you should put me on your podcast. Yeah. If you don't bring value to an audience, these producers have to deal with ratings. They have to deal with value. This is the reason why we teach you the way we teach you on the speakerfocus.com platform, because if you're not prepared to deliver value, you are going to be out in the cold, literally. But when you're doing it the right way, every time you hear Alex share something about his success with Trevor, he never says it's perfect, because believe me, he's working hard.
I wish he is, but oh
Yeah,
no.
he's working hard. Believe me, Alex is over there stressing just like everybody else, trying to figure out how to make it work. I love the way you color coded what you can do for the next time. Austin, jump in here real quick. I wanted to, because Austin is really good at this kind of stuff. I want him to chime in here about his mindset on process improvement. Troy, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah. Austin, could you, did you hear that last sequence that Alex was talking about, where he color codes everything to, it's like trying to get better at certain things? I just wanted you to offer the group some of your methodology and your approach when it comes to process improvement. What do you go through on a week-to-week basis to make sure that we keep getting better and better?
Yeah, I mean, it's simplifying. I think there's so many ways and so many different things you could be, attacking, what needs to be done. But I think asking the question, what's the one most important thing that you could do today, you could do this week, such by doing it will make everything else easier or unnecessary. Too many times people try to, make a really big list of things to do, and it kind of can hide the most important things that should be done right now. And really the most leveraged things that you could be doing. And so asking that question is the way I wake up every day and figure out what's that one big thing I need to be working on. And typically it's going to be the most scary, the most complicated, the most difficult thing that needs to be done. And usually that gets pushed off because it's not easy, it's not fun, but usually, that's the most important thing that needs to be done, and it'll make everything else easier. And typically for me, it's going to be like building systems, building automation that, it's not easy to build, takes a while, it hurts my head, but after I do it, really it could like make it so that I don't have to do that task ever again, because it's just done, it's automated. So I think that question is how I clear out all the noise and really get focused in. What's the one thing that I could do right now that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? And then I just do that no matter how hard it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's one big thing I've been working on gradually, is the automation process, especially because Trevor has so many different avenues. Like he has his store, and then he has products, and then he has the speaking side. So
Yep.
I totally agree with Austin about, refining that process and simplifying it, So I've been going back every part of the process when I'm going through and then also the parts that the engagement had a bit of like confusion or anything like that. Okay, how can I simplify that? So
Yep.
That makes complete sense.
Absolutely. Listen, the automation, that Austin, I appreciate that. That's why I had him chime in there, because his thought process of being CTO, and when you're the chief technical officer, I follow his leadership right from day one, because Alex, I can tell you firsthand, and I'm not even exaggerating, bro, when I tell you, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, maybe I was literally putting my hands into 100 to 200 different systems, or I had to manually do this, do that. I don't have to touch any of that stuff anymore. All I have to do is talk and press 1 or 2 buttons on a strategy call, and everything gets sent out. And that's all because Austin sits over there all day long and he comes up with all of this stuff. Now I feed the data to him and say, hey, bro, I feel like this, this data, these are the kind of prospects that we're getting. This is what's happening. And then, he'll add it into the drop-down menu. So all I have to do is just press 1 button instead of typing the whole email. You see, these are the kind of things that, Alex, what I'm feeling like when you do show up on the group calls is that you've grown so much, but you realize that these things take time. And that one of the things that really is frustrating for me is that when students are all over the place on the platform, but there's a reason why we want you to go in this order. Because once you get it all set up, when these meeting planners or these producers start asking for stuff, Alex is not stressing over that part of the business anymore because he's able to get them the publicity one sheet. He's able to get them the speaker video demo. He's able to get them the speaker info kit. They're able to go to the website, the landing page. They're able to book a strategy call on the calendar so they can have a discovery session. So, you know, you could walk them through a needs assessment. You can see whether or not it's a good fit. Now, the part that he's at is I need to get better at the automation. And they're out in the marketplace. They're making money. They're utilizing the block bookings. He's just keep adding, just like Charlene. All of the top students keep adding more things on to their, and it takes time to build all of this. So the biggest mistake that I see students make is that they don't want to go in sequential order. And they think they're smarter than the system. And you have to take your time. You have to be patient. And like Austin said, you have to eliminate anything that does not serve your speaker business. Because if you really want to get there fast, you're going to put your head down and you are going to finish the work. And if you don't finish the work, you're just going to keep spinning wheels. It's like you're in suspended animation in the Twilight Zone. The way to get results is do the work. Alex, did you have any other questions?
Nope, that's all I had. Thank you.
All right. Hey, keep me abreast of what's going on. And Trevor's he's in the Austin area? What part of Texas? Alex, you there? Hello? Alex, I lost audio on you. You there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I said,
Okay.
Trevor is in what part of Texas is Trevor in?
Well, he's split, so he's half the time he's here in Austin, and half the time he's in Hawaii.
Okay. Well, before the end of the year, are you in Austin? Will you guys work in the same area?
Yeah, I'm in Austin. Yeah, I'm in
All right.
Austin.
So I'm coming to visit Austin before the end of the year. So all of us are gonna get together and we're gonna hang out. All right.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, just let me know. Yeah, I would say contact Woody because he's faster to contact. But yeah,
no problem.
Yeah.
All right. No problem. I'll reach out to Woody.
Cool.
All right. Keep me abreast of what's going on with all these block bookings that you're doing. And I'm glad he got San Antonio locked down. It's all good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
An outstanding job, man. Outstanding job. Man, I admire hard work. Okay, let me see. Got out. Let me see who we got up next. Somebody of 470-653-9054. Somebody's cell phone number. They don't have their name in there. I think they just had their hand up, but they put their hand down. So not sure who that was, but if you had a question, please raise your hand again, and I'll be more than happy to get to your question. Let me see. Oh, got it. Okay. All right. All right, Harvey. Okay. Harvey.
Yes, Kevin. Good evening. Hello, everybody.
Good evening to you.
Good to be with you all, learning a great deal from everybody and the questions they bring forward. Very impressed with everyone. My question deals with dealing with very, very difficult topics in leadership. I'm working in training, particularly in emerging church leaders and also school leaders. And because I'm currently dealing in my own professional life, again, with the issue of pedophiles and children being molested, how do you present that difficult case in a way that you can unpack it? Because you know you're going to have triggers by audience members. And so give me some idea about how to do that in a way, and then how to address at the end of such a presentation people coming up who have had triggers hit them and that need the kind of help that, number one, I'm not qualified to give, and that there's not time to flesh through.
Okay, got it. All right, so let's just break down how to present a difficult topic. All right, which we have many speakers on our platform. I wouldn't necessarily call it controversial, Harvey, I wouldn't call it controversial. However, what you do want to create, you want to create some headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions that are thought-provoking, disruptive. And you want to be able to get the meeting planner's attention. You also want to be able to get the audience's attention, because that's what's going to allow them to focus on an important topic where you were trying to draw attention. You're an advocate, obviously, for children so that these ridiculous and heinous things don't happen to them. So the key is, what is going to be the topic? How do we get them to digest the topic without making them sick on the stomach? And I believe that when you're dealing with a sensitive topic, when you're dealing with things that are difficult to discuss, watch this, Harvey. This is the best way I could describe it. Presenting a difficult topic is a nasty business, but it's necessary. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So therefore, the first part is how you set the topic up. So if I ask you one, or if you could answer this for me in one or two questions, if you were going to present that topic, remember, Harvey, leadership is the #1 most requested topic at conferences, corporate meetings, and events worldwide. So they're bringing you in to talk about your niche. So we have to identify with your niche first. This is what we show you how to do right in module #1.
Okay.
So leadership is the cash cow. That's what's going to get you through the door. They want to bring you in as a leadership speaker because you bring value under your niche. So let's identify with what your niche is first. How would you describe what your niche is? Is it in education or is it in pedophilia?
Education.
Education. Okay. Now, we have many of our students on our platform that have bullying programs. They have some type of prevention program. So watch this, Harvey. How would you describe presenting the topic that you want to present in 1 or 2 sentences? When I come here, you speak. What is the one thing you want me to walk out of that room with that's going to have the biggest impact on my life that you want me to remember? What is that?
Leaders have to make tough choices and stand alone.
Okay. Leaders have to make tough choices and stand alone. Okay. So you could call that isolation-based leadership if you wanted to as a topic.
Okay.
See what I just did?
Yes.
Thought-provoking, disruptive. Right now, how does that tie into the awareness that you're trying to bring so that kids don't suffer from abuse?
Well, it goes back in when I do that presentation, I tie it into different kinds of tough choices. So I give scenarios about situations, and then when I'm breaking groups down into smaller groups to work and facilitate in half or full day programs, then they're given different scenarios to address, and then I ask them to bring forward scenarios, making sure that they're informed that they cannot use real names or situations, etc. But they must speak in terms of pseudonyms and using real situations, but so that we can help them facilitate, look at the questions and the answers without getting themselves in legal trouble or dealing with a Privacy Act.
Exactly. Now, that's also very smart. One thing when you're dealing with a sensitive topic, when I'm giving people advice about something and I make a general statement about something, I make it very clear I am not an attorney and this is not legal advice. It should not be used as such, right? You
Yes,
can throw out a little disclaimer like that. Also, too, Harvey, for those who have been touched or moved by your presentation in such a way, it would be a good idea to have resources, maybe a handout, maybe a hotline for them to call if they have suffered from abuse. Maybe it's not going to be a long line, but maybe you're going to reach 1 or 2 people, maybe even 5 or 6 people who do need the help, who can have an access to a resource that will start them getting, counseling that they need, any type of therapy that they need.
Thank you. The other question is this: when you spend time with a difficult topic like that, and you want to transition out so that the end of the time together is not so heavy but positive.
Yes.
One of the ways I've done has been to look at success stories and how cases like that have been handled, where students has been helped. So I don't use humor in any of that type of thing, but I try to give people hope at the end by showing examples of the way these issues have been dealt with successfully in several different areas.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Let me add something on top of that. One of the strategies that I use when I'm on tour, when I'm doing a half day or full day programs, when I'm facilitating, is when you're breaking people up into groups. What I do is I appoint a group representative. First of all, I give a challenge. Let's say, for instance, Harvey, okay, let's say we're suffering from some type of sexual or physical abuse in your school. You know, okay, so what kind of system would you devise of having a student or an adult report that kind of activity? And then don't just give me the problem. I need 3-step solution that will solve the problem. You have 15 minutes to work on that exercise. Then what I do is I call up a group. Let's say we break them up we have 100 people in a small facilitation in a workshop. I will ask for one representative per group. The one representative will come up front, and then we would dialogue about all three strategies of what they come up with to remedy the challenge, reporting the abuse. What steps could you have in play? And what you're going to see is you're going to have some overlapping concerns, but what you're going to hear is from 10 different perspectives, from 100 different voices who have maybe had the situation happen, maybe have had experience. So now you're dealing with the collective energy of 100 people times your strategies as well. Now, all you have to do is facilitate the group. Okay, group member number 1. Okay, sir, what's your name? Gene. Okay, Gene, give me, now remember what the objective was. Tell me what your group discussed, and then give me the 3 strategies that you came up with to remedy this particular challenge. And I let them talk.
Oh, absolutely.
I dialogue in between. And now what you've done too, Harvey, is every time you do that, you're taking mental notes about how this is happening in real time, of how you're helping people. And then watch this. You could always end it on a positive note, because now we've talked about the problem. Everybody's gotten a chance to vent and dialogue about it, which in most cases, what I've learned in my experience is that when people come to your seminar or your workshop, they've been afraid to talk about certain things. Clashes with the supervisors. People suffer from all different kinds of abuse. Remember, Harvey, it's a nasty business, but it's necessary. So when you come in and present with the facts, but then you have that medicine in your message. And that is the thing that allows everybody to leave on an up note, leave with real strategies they can implement, leave with real solutions, and know they have a shot at being able to turn their lives around. And Harvey, good thing for you, and we've only known each other a couple of days, but I feel like you're my brother already. I know that you were doing this prior to coming into the coaching program.
Yes.
Can you imagine what you're going to be after you learn all the strategies that we're teaching you in here and how to craft that message? And when you send it over to me, I'm going to make sure that the key, Harvey, is you don't have to worry about making it work for the audience yet. The audience is going to be blessed to hear you speak, because the meeting plan is going to give you permission so that your leadership topics don't need to come with a lot of thunder as far as what you're going to give the audience. What it needs to have in it for the meeting planner is the value. It needs to have all the key takeaway strategies. It's going to help the audience achieve their desired outcomes and the learning objectives. And that is what your bullets should do inside of the signature programs. You got it?
Yes, thanks, Kevin. That was very helpful. And thanks to everybody else. I'm learning a great deal from you. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. Glad to have you on board. It's Harvey's first day. Just literally onboarded him today. Glad to have you into the program. We'd love to have people of that kind of professional caliber that is on our platform. All of you make us look good. And see, this is the reason why the mad scientist Auston Troyer saw this vision a long time ago, way before I did. He said, bro, we need a platform. We need a platform where all of our students can talk to each other. They can direct message each other. They can talk to each other right on the platform. They can show up on the group call. It's absolutely amazing what this has turned into. And remember, a lot of you coming into the coaching program, and Harvey is a shining example of this. He already knows how to facilitate. He already knows how to teach, transfer knowledge at an extremely high level. Anita and Tanta, I see you. I'll be right with you when I finish this point. And the good news is that when you have that skill set, but you just been missing the marketing piece, it's very important. A lot of you still, it hasn't clicked. And when Harvey said, oh, Kevin, thank you so much. Like he got it as soon as I said it to him. Because see, we're so worried about delivering the message to the audience. But you should be focusing on the meeting planner, not the audience. You're going to focus on the audience after you get hired. Then you go into a different kind of mode of saying, oh, okay, I need to build my presentation out now. I need to customize these strategies. The particular group that I'm working with, these are the resources I need to research prior to, because this is the specific information that's going to help this particular group. But you're not thinking about any of that stuff prior to you getting hired. And this is where speakers absolutely, go wrong. Your messaging should be geared toward, why do you think Alex and everybody else is having success on this platform? Why do you think they're having the success? Because their signature programs speak directly to the pain of the meeting planner, chair, board, or committee member, key decision maker, who is directly responsible for purchasing professional speaking services. The meeting planner is the only person that matters. Listen to what Auston said. Auston talked about eliminating any and everything that doesn't matter. Auston says no more than anybody else that I know in the world. First of all, there's certain things, because we get approached with 50 to 100 offers every single day. People want me to wear their watches. They want me to wear their colognes. They want me to be a brand ambassador for this. We get all kinds of offers. The reason why I don't even bring it to Austin's attention with a lot of things that happen is because I already know how focused and locked in he is. It's not that he's saying no to be the asshole, but he's saying no to be the asshole, because he's not going to let anybody stop him from putting his 12 or 14 or 16 hour days in, to stop him from developing things that he knows that this platform needs, where we're going to be 5 years from down the line. And I'm the same exact way. You've got to be so focused on the meeting planner, customer centric, meeting planner centric. Nobody else matters. Your friends can't help you. Your family members, unfortunately, they cannot help you, but the meeting planner can. And when you create the right kind of partnerships with meeting planners, you are going to see an absolute shift in your speaker business. But see, it's the same thing that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about all the time. Gary V says, I'm telling you what you should be doing. I called this stuff 10 years ago. I told you what was going to happen on LinkedIn. I told you what was going to happen on all these social networking platforms. Gary V has called it all. He's been right because he analyzes the facts. He day trades attention. Where's all the attention in the meeting planner industry or in the speaking industry? All the attention should be on helping the meeting planner reduce their level of stress and increase their level of productivity. It should be on helping the meeting planner focus on having a stellar event. Your job is to create partnerships with the meeting planner. Yet so many speakers, they do the opposite. They're self-promoting. They're not offering any value. That's that. I'm telling you that motive. I've been saying this stuff for years and nobody's been listening to me up till now. The era of the motivational, fluffy, saucy, used car salesman speaker is over. I feel sorry for the speakers that are out there, and a lot of them are talking, but very few know how to speak. And that's the difference. And that's why you need better messaging. I am on your ass so hard. And I hold you accountable because I know that I have to prepare you to deal with the meeting planner. Don't think about the audience right now. You are not going to get permission to get in front of that audience and share your messaging unless you get the messaging right with the meeting planner or the conference coordinator. And that's the facts about this industry. See, Harvey, remember, it's a nasty business that I'm in, but it's necessary. And I'm the only one with the balls or guts enough to tell it to you like it is, because all everybody else wants you to do is tell some fluffy, weak ass story that is not going to get you past the gatekeeper. But it will. 80% of the YouTubers are all sharing their story every single day for free. That's why they're not high fee speakers. See, the way I'm teaching you how to do it, I'm teaching you how to build messaging, create the 4 signature programs, these opening paragraphs and these bullets. They will appreciate the way you present your topic, even if you're dealing with a very, very disruptive and controversial topic. All you got to do is just present the leadership topic. They're going to know when they read your story that you're on a mission to help kids. They're going to know that you're trying to prevent adults from abusing kids. That's all going to be in your story. And you're going to be able to share it. And you're going to be able to give people strategies. But you know what? It takes a person that's brave to present a topic like that. It takes people that's brave to deal with social issues that we people don't want to talk about. But I tell you this, you haven't wanted to talk about diversity and inclusion for years, but now you have to deal with it. And the speakers who are incorporating diversity and inclusion, not because it's some kind of buzzword, but because it really ties into your topic, these corporations are struggling. Literally, they're struggling. And the medicine is in your message. If you put it together the right way, and this is why you got to be skilled at copywriting, and you cannot take it for granted. You've got to work hard to start a great foundation for your signature programs. And that's why I don't give A+ when you turn in C homework. I'm not going to do it because the meeting planner doesn't want to hear any other verbiage. If it's not in the third person, if it doesn't have value, it's not going to work. Anita Yarborough, talk to me.
Hi, KTR. How are you doing today?
I'm doing super fantastic. How are you?
I am doing my best. I'm on a wave. I'm on a surfboard going up and down waves. And what I see, you look like you got some inches smaller in the face.
Hey, believe me, I'm like the Incredible Shrinking Man. I'm getting smaller and smaller. I told y'all every single week. That's all I've been doing is drinking water, drinking that green juice, beet juice, intermittent fasting for 4 days on, 3 days eating. I'll just watch what I eat. It's like I don't make food the priority anymore. And I told you I was focused.
Yeah, well, it is doing you good.
I appreciate it.
So my question is, because I just got your email back. Thanks for looking that over. I kind of figured after the last question and answer class we had, I heard you in that class when you said we need to be in there with a video of us talking. And I had already put the picture there, and I was thinking, well, maybe I should go back and put the video in like I was going to do the first time. So I was going to incorporate a couple of videos throughout those slides and create a video out of it. I really didn't want it to look like, I really did not want it to look like a PowerPoint presentation because of the way I was trying to edit, because I love doing that kind of editing and making videos.
Okay.
So now, what do you think about that? Just taking the picture out and incorporate, of course, I know I'm going to have to incorporate the contact information, but of course, I told you I was going to do that after I got the website up and running.
Yes.
What about keeping the same background, just including the video with on the side, my signature programs?
Okay.
The way I had it in the video.
Okay. Now, your video is a good piece of content, but when it comes to, we got to understand editing, identity, and production goals. So the production goals for a speaker video demo needs to have a little bit different vibe. You did have the signature programs in there. You did start out with the introduction, but when you start utilizing some animations in the background, it's just distraction. It's a distraction, is what it is.
Okay.
I don't want to focus on animation. If I'm a meeting, remember, I look at everything that all of you send to me through the eyes of the meeting planner or the conference coordinator. I don't look at it as your speaker coach. I look at it as the person who wants to write you a check. Am I going to be more motivated to write you the check if you have your business set up where it works for me and my audience? I keep going back to the same thing. It's value. So if you're showing me less value, then I'm not going to approve that. Now, what I will give you is I love the effort. I love the fact that you do editing and that editing is a valuable skill. So let's not try to, editing is expensive. It all depends on who you get on your project. But what I'm saying is at the level that you did it, I honestly believe that at least you know how to drop things into the timeline and you know how to edit. But I believe that it's not that you had it all the way wrong. You just didn't have it all the way right. So what I want to do is take the elements. Here's what I like that you did. I like the way you had the signature programs off to the side. But Anita, I need to see you. I need to see my speaker. So you could do a talking head shot. This is a talking head shot from the chest up, waist up, whatever. And you can walk through my name is Anita Yarborough and I teach ... That's your mainstay headline. Today, I want to share with you, conference coordinators, meeting and event planners. I want to share with you about one of my signature programs. And after this program, you're going to be able to. I want you to talk to the meeting planner like you are helping them solve a problem. If you can do that, Anita, with the level of, you have a very, very laid back tonality in your voice. It's not pushy. It's not over the top. It's very unassuming. You got to use that to your advantage, because you're not pushy. All you have to do is just give them the facts, and that's going to come through. I need to see you in a talking headshot. Put the signature programs at the bottom in the lower third or something. Get rid of all that extra animation. Just make it real simple. Try it again with putting yourself in there. And then on the back end, you can do a call to action, obviously, with your contact information, and then send me over another version. If we're struggling with that version and it doesn't look like it's on a professional level, then I'm going to say, okay, I want you to take what you have, because clearly you have all the content. You have your signature programs. Then we can say, okay, let's take the content and let's get it over to an editor, somebody that just has more experience editing, and then show them a sample of one of the speaker video demos that we have on our platform and see if they can meet you at that level. Is that fair?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that was a good idea. I was thinking that too. I was, because I was trying to contact my production person who's really good at that, to give them an idea, because I know they're used to music videos and all this other stuff. I wanted to see how they can bring something like what I'm doing together and their skills and pull it all together. Okay, that's basically what I wanted to hear from you.
And you know what, Anita, this is a big win for you, because I know it's taking you some time to be able to get to the point where you produce your speaker video demo, but you at least made the effort. Now watch this. A lot of people don't want to send it to me because they don't like the effort. I would rather you send me something like you did, because it wasn't all bad. See, you had the right kind of content in there. You just got to get rid of the animations. It looked like something was moving kind of slow, like a starburst effect.
Yeah. And I think it was, I think at that time I was having some problems, like with the PowerPoint program.
Yeah.
Because, I can, it allows you to do a lot of editing and video. And for some reason, I kept noticing, like, gosh, why is this moving slow? So I just said, well, I wasn't sure, because I just noticed today when I called Best Buy, that does, well, gosh, I forgot what the little group that does a lot of
Geek Squad.
What is it?
You about the Geek Squad?
Yeah. Because I had ordered my Microsoft through them. So I found out what was going on. So there wasn't much I could do to correct that, the slow and the speed. But I think if I get the production person involved, because I couldn't download this other app, the DaVincio, which is an editing program, and I think he has it. So I'm gonna put what I have and send it over. Of course, I'm gonna put my video in it. He may even want to just do some different type of editing with me in it, and I'm gonna see how that works out. I just wanted you to see what I have so far.
Yes.
But I did want to include the signature program. So I just, and as far as the animation, of course, I know to take that out.
Yeah, you want to just simplify. You want to simplify. You want to keep it corporate. Remember, you want to keep it nice and clean. You want to keep it simple, and you want your video to you want the video to represent the very best of who you are. Again, you know, however you want to represent yourself. Blue blazer, white blouse under there. You can put a, you know, ladies are great at accessories, work very well. As long as it looks professional, just put that talking headshot in there, get the editor, the footage, and then send it over to us. Did you get the email? What did you get the response in a support ticket where I showed you examples of students crushing it on our platform with this video? You got that, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I think the first video that I saw was on somebody else's page, probably like 2 months ago. So I was trying to do something similar, but I was thinking I was being a little different just by doing the speak over. But I guess you made it clear, because I thought, you know, if I got a little creative and just stuck a picture in there.
No, it's not creative. See again. No.
But I got you now.
Yeah, you follow the blueprint. See, all of that creative stuff is doing too much. That's reinventing the wheel. Follow the blueprint. Look at Dr. Krishna's speaker video demo. She did it with her Zoom sessions from her clients through the pandemic, and she did a great job. Look at the lower thirds. Look at where she has the placement of her signature programs. She worked with an editor. She got them all of the content, and she had, that is a very simple example of a speaker video demo. Now, Ben Hall, former NFL player on our platform, Ben's speaker video demo is going to look like my speaker video demo because he spent some money on it to get it done. He took it to a whole nother level. Well, Ben is like me, has like a celebrity brand. You have to start where you are and put forth the best effort possible. So make that happen with the editor, collaborate, send me over another version, and I'll be more than happy to give you some more feedback. Listen, you're active, and that's what matters. You're not stagnant. And you have faced your fears since you've been on this platform, Anita. And I'm extremely proud of you because it takes effort. See, we don't like to get punched in the gut or the face. We don't like to get rejected. I am here to help you so you're going to deal with less rejection, but it needs to be put together the right way before you go into the marketplace.
Right.
A couple more times at this, and you're going to get it right. Follow the blueprint, break it down frame by frame by frame of Dr. Kristen's video, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. If you get anywhere close to that, you're going to be ready to go to market. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking my time with it because I mean, your story kind of resembles mine, where I started off doing a whole bunch of free speaking engagements. And of course, I had no choice when I was working at the university to do a whole bunch of free speaking engagements because I was already getting paid, but I wasn't getting paid what I was worth. So now trying to do it this way, yeah, I'm doing my best. I said, I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush. I'm doing my best to be patient with myself because I know me, I always try to rush things and I don't want to rush this. So I really appreciate your help and thanks. That's all the questions I have, and enjoy the rest of your night.
No problem. You do the same.
Thanks.
Do the same. I respect your work ethic, and you just keep your head down and just keep doing the work. That's what it's about. That's how you get the results. A lot of times a lot of students are holding back their speaker video demo, or they won't produce one. Listen, Shell Phelps turned in one of the greatest examples. She wasn't too confident about her speaker video demo when she turned it in, but she did it. And I had her do it over a second time. She had the camera turned in a portrait, not a landscape, but she jumped in there and she tried it. See, I'd rather take a try and it's not as great as it needs to be, and let me review it and then we can improve it, then you not turn one in at all. Do the work. Tanta, talk to me.
Yes, hi, good evening. How are
Hey,
you?
Tanta. I'm doing
Yeah.
great. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm great because I'm here. So I'm just thankful to be a part of this platform. You know, I was struggling, am struggling, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly with the fact that, you know, just some obstacles. A lot of things have been coming against me, which I've had to work through, the distraction
Yep.
and the setback, especially with my time, you know, like it's a play on my time. It's horrible. So, but then I overwhelmed myself, you know. So I'm just knowing that this is the most important thing. Like I can keep wasting my time doing with the other things that I've been doing, or I can get serious about this. So I'm thankful to be here. It has actually slowed me down because, like I said, I overwhelmed myself. So I am so thankful. I'm so thankful for everyone who's been sharing it. You know, it's kind of helping me getting orders, but I still, the sad part about it is I don't know if I know who I am yet. You know, what am I doing? There's so much. And how do I package it? How do I market it? That's my problem. I'm having a marketing issue.
Okay. All right. Now, so you signed up for the platform so you could resolve those challenges. You don't have that struggle anymore. Stop thinking about everything that you have to do. Tanta, I
Yes.
want you to focus on one thing at a time. Right now, you're new to the platform. I just want you focusing on the messaging. Don't worry about how you're going to market yourself. Don't worry about how you're going to attract the meeting planners. You're not in module 5 yet. When you get to module 5, Austin is going to break it down step by step about how you build your speaker growth engine, how you start attracting leads and filling up your pipeline with
Okay.
predictability and consistency. These are, this is, we don't make promises on our platform. We guarantee you that you are going to start booking speaking engagements. You're going to start getting outreach. We're going to get your messaging tight. All of your sales tools are going to be on point, so you don't have to do as much talking. Your
Okay.
business is going to be set up the right way. We will go over the checklist with you after every single module to ensure every single facet. We're the barrier to entry, Tanta. You cannot go to market without going through me and Austin first.
Right.
So now, with that being said, I want you to stop self-deprecating. I'm gonna say this to you one time because you're a very intelligent woman. And I know that you were a bit fractured, but aren't we all?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I'm losing weight on the outside right now, but I am really struggling with some internal things right now. Some family stuff is going on. I'm hurting.
Mhm.
I'm hurting, but I got my family. I got my team. I got my speaker focus team. I got Austin. I got a couple people that actually give a damn about me and check in on me. So I exercise and work out and eat right now because I am dealing with a very serious personal situation right now that is very difficult for me to go through. So we're all broken and fractured. But Tanta, you gotta have a paradigm shift. You gotta stop self-deprecating. I know you may be in it right now, but you have got, listen, I listen to positive sleep meditation music every single night. I don't go to bed with the TV on because I don't want to hear gangster movie bang bang in my head every single night. And I do love to be entertained like everybody else. You've got to start taking in something that's going to help your subconscious mind. And the best time to do it is when you sleep. Google multi-millionaire sleep meditation video and see what comes up. Multi-millionaire sleep meditation video. This is what you're going to hear, Tanta. Watch this. I deserve a life of abundance. I am wealthy. I can deal with the challenges ahead. I am successful. Do you know what I am statements do? I am statements empower your subconscious mind. It brings action to your dream, your blueprint, your goal. Money operates on a higher vibrational frequency. You got to stop thinking at these lower vibrational frequencies. You aren't doing anything but attracting more of what you're thinking. Watch this. If you tell yourself, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, you're just going to keep attracting thoughts and people and opportunities that's going to allow you not to pay your bills.
Right.
If you keep telling yourself, I am empowered, I am successful. You know what I used to say to myself until I was unconscious, until I went to sleep? I did this back when I was in my 20s. I kept saying it to myself because the number was out. It was insane for me to be able to make. I just said, I make $5 million a month. 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 I would just keep saying it to myself. Now, the 5 million didn't happen, but what it did was it elevated me away from a lower level of income. And I just kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher every single year. I did it no matter what I was doing, legal or illegal. I did it when I was hustling drugs. I did it when I was hustling real estate. I did it when I was hustling professional speaking. You don't have to be perfect. Tanti, you got to ease up on yourself a little bit. You're just too hard on yourself. Am I making sense to you what I'm saying?
100%.
You got to let it go. Whatever's going on in your life right now, you got to let it go. You got to make room for the new stuff.
Yes.
You got to get rid of the old, clean house, delete everything that does not serve you, uplift you, or support you. And you got to usher in a new way of thinking. It's called I am statements. Your subconscious mind, Tanta, last but not least, it does not know the difference between fact or fiction. It takes everything as literal fact. If you say to yourself every single day, watch this. When you say out loud to yourself, or you have a thought, you are releasing that energy into the universe. And these formidable laws of the universe state, the law of attraction is specific. Whatever you have on your mind, you are going to consistently attract it into your life. I'm talking the next second after you think it or say it, it's going to be reciprocated back to you.
Yes.
That's why you've got to control the narrative. Your subconscious mind is where all your memory resides. It's where all your level of skill resides. It's what can be manipulated to think positive or negative. Even when I'm hurting, I choose to think positive. And I listen to sleep meditation video every single night when I go to sleep. I don't miss a night. You know why? Because I need to be thinking about things as positive. My brain needs to be programmed, not with a bunch of movies that's not helping me, but my subconscious mind is being programmed with I am statements. You got it?
Got it.
And if people aren't talking to you about helping you grow your speaker business or keeping you uplifted or positive or moving you down the road, they need to go. As hard as it is to break free of it, you gotta give them their exit papers. They need to be extradited off your island of calm and peace and tranquility and focus. You got it?
Thank you.
All right. You got any other questions?
You doing that got me on my focus, so I'm gonna do it. I'm on it.
Hey, just real quick before you go, in video 1.2, right after the welcome video, which is about 40 minutes and 42 seconds, under video, I need you to look at video number 1, just as a reminder. Under video number 1.2, there is the signature program template and the bio formula. I need you to get your head in that assignment and send it to support@speakerfocus.com. The pain that you're going through right now is going to turn you into a high fee speaker, because the pain that you're going through, that you had every reason to tell me no, that you didn't want to start this program, but you did it because you believed in yourself. And that little bit of hope that you have inside of there, you need to put that energy into your building your messaging. And I don't promise it to you, I guarantee you, you're going to come away with 4 signature programs and you're going to be in tears by the time when I send you back over to you to say approve. You're going to be in tears, because that's going to be the foundation for your speaker business. And I know you already see it, and I know it's already in there.
Thank you.
Please work on it and send it to me so we can start building the messaging.
Yes.
So
As
you
we
can out there and change some lives, okay?
As we speak, thank you so much, and you know, keep going. You know, you're amazing, and you wouldn't be able to tell because you do it so gracefully. So I'm thankful for you in my life because, I mean, to be honest, at this point, you saved it. So I'm thankful.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm just doing what it is that I was designed to do. We are all uniquely and specifically designed and wired to do certain things. And this is one of the things that I was meant to do. I love you, I support you, and I believe in you. And it's just that simple. And you think about so many people that don't have somebody talking to them like that every single day. And that's the reason why people take their lives. That's the reason why people are depressed. That's the reason why people get down on themselves. You don't have to get down on yourself on this platform. You got brothers and sisters. This is a brotherhood and sisterhood. Didn't I say that to you prior to us onboarding you into this coaching program?
Yes.
And now you see what I'm talking about on the Monday group call. I told you we can have these kind of conversations because I know the kind of stuff that people go through when we get off these group calls. Our students go through surgeries. They go through life experiences. This is real. But you got to take all of that pain. You got to take all of these setbacks. You got to take all these losses. You're sitting in there in pain and you're still going through it anyway. That's what you're supposed to do. We're all afraid. But you moving forward shows me what kind of integrity and character that you have. And that's why I wanted you into this coaching program. I tell people no every single day. You're not a good fit. But I say yes to you because I believed in you.
Thank you.
I see so you're very welcome. I see something in you that I see in a lot of people that's going through rough stuff right now. You're going to help millions of women understand how to overcome abuse. And you're going to find your way in this coaching program. So don't say I've lost my way. Say I found. I am empowered. I am successful. I am going to get my act together. I am a professional speaker. This is what I wrote. You got to write this down.
Yes.
I wrote this on my board, my vision board, last but not least. This is almost 32 years ago. I, Kevin T. Robertson, am a professional speaker who travels the world and abroad, and I do 100+ tour days every single year. I literally wrote that on my vision board. I wasn't getting any bookings. Well, they were coming in one or two here or there, but I read this book called The Powers of the Subconscious Mind. And don't you know that the very following year, I did about 15. Then I did about 30 the next year. Then when it got over 50, and then I started averaging 100 every year. In 2007, I did 152 tour days internationally. I'm telling you right now, you can't play around with the law of attraction. This is not hype. Yeah. This is not a gimmick. This is not tricks. It's not luck. This stuff is for real. You got to start programming your mind the right way. See, I had to get away from friends who weren't uplifting and supporting my vision. They didn't understand. Yeah. When I told them I'm going to be gone, I'm going to be on tour, I'm going to be on the road, they said, but man, you aren't going anywhere. What are you talking about? Why do you want to write books? Why do you want to help people? People are not going to listen to you. Oh, really? That's why my keynote range is $50,000 USD for 1 hour. And I'm in the top 20% of leadership speakers on planet Earth who know how to transfer knowledge at an extremely high level, hold your attention for elongated periods of time while being entertaining. I come from the mud. I started all the way at the bottom. And now I'm in the top 20% of leadership speakers on planet Earth. And if you play your cards the right way, you got an opportunity to do something very, very special with your life. And it's already inside of you. And I see it. I see it. I saw it the first time I talked to you, but you got to start believing in it more. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Good evening. Thank you.
Talk to you real soon. Love you much. Get my homework assignment done, please. Send it to support@speakerfocus.com.
As we speak.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, everybody. Annette Gregory, talk to me.
Wow. Good evening.
Hey, Annette, how are you?
I'm great. I'm just so overwhelmed with our community and just the information. I had a couple of questions, but I'm just so thankful for the transparency that we all share with Miss Tanta, just to know that like those negative thoughts, you spoke life into me, that just from a conversation, when we feel low. So
Yep.
I just want to say thank you and thank her for sharing and knowing that we, like he said, we've all been in that space. And therapy helps. I'm a proud goer. Somebody put in a comment, I was like, that was the best decision for me
Yep.
to go to therapy because
Yep.
my husband passed suddenly. I couldn't get past the sadness, and I wasn't equipped to deal with it, and I knew that I needed help. Just like this platform, I knew I needed help. So just thank you. The question I had,
You're
I think I'm not really sure how to maneuver the platform. I should have been sending some of the questions I had to support at Speaker Focus. I went through my email to get in. So did I not listen to something right? Like I just want to, I wasn't clear on how to maneuver, like what I should look at to know how to maneuver. I did, that's first. Let me.
okay. Okay. Let's be real clear about what you don't know how to maneuver on. So do you have a passcode to log into speakerfocus.com? Yes or no?
Yes.
Can you go to speakerfocus.com, you hit sign in, you can log into the platform, to the community, and to the classroom section. Is that correct?
Yes. When you just said something to commit, so I kept going through the email to go back to it, but
Okay.
just go to speakerfocus.com and hit login or something, right?
Yes, hit log in. You
Okay.
should have a passcode that when you got your onboarding welcome email, the second thing it told you to do was follow the specific instructions and create a passcode.
Yes.
So when you go into the platform, you should be able to log in, sign in. You should be able to see classroom and community. Classroom is where all the lessons are. Community, where all of your fellow students are putting things, on the discussion board. And Austin will post a notification about the group session or the Q&A call. That's where the community part. The classroom is where you're taking all of the lessons. So yes or no, have you looked at the welcome video in video 1.2 in module 1 and start working on the messaging?
Yes. So I was able to get in, and that was some of the questions that I sent that I then didn't send the questions to Speaker Focus on. Once I was looking at 1.2, that was some of it. I had so much emotion, it came up that I wasn't sure which verb, what are the action words that I wanted, because I know transformation, vulnerability, those were some of the words, but it was like so much was coming to my mind and then trying to identify exactly where I know I want to deal with helping transform and taking the grief and embracing your pain to help it be your power, to help empower others to walk through that. So those are the things I knew, but I wasn't sure what were the 4 words, what were my 3 words to encompass that. And so I was like, do I need to write out more of what I'm feeling to then see what words are the most similar, or
yes, right there, what you just said. Okay, now, first of all, I understand that you're going through an emotional time. So the key is to start writing until you're creatively spent. Get your ideas on paper until you can't think of nothing else to say. That means that you run out of ideas. So remember, it's important that you control your emotions. When you're thinking, let them out, let it flow. But if you're overly emotional, it impairs your ability to make an accurate decision. So you don't want it to impair your decision-making ability. And you don't want to get in the way of thoughts that need to come through right now. And it's okay if you're hurting. It's okay if you're experiencing pain. Get it all out in the signature program template. So pick the words that best describe. And you're talking about the signature program worksheet.
Yes, sir.
That goes along with the video. Okay, now, once you fill that worksheet out, so let's go over it right now. Do you have your mainstay headline, your 5-word formula, like leadership, something that does something?
No, I had that. I didn't, because I was like, I wasn't sure. I know I wanted, for me, I was like transformational, and it's still, I was thinking of my background with education, but also in the mental health space that I feel like I can help someone walk through that process. So it was
Watch
something
this.
that
What'd you just say to me?
transformed,
Hold on. What'd you just say to me? What'd you say? You said you can help someone do what?
walk through that process.
So watch this. Watch this. One of your signature programs is called Walkthrough Based Leadership. See what I just did?
Yes.
Walkthrough Based Leadership. I'm going to teach your audience how to walk through their challenges. I'm going to teach your audience after this program, you're going to be able to learn to overcome your obstacles.
Your obstacle.
You see?
And one was to transform, to embrace the pain and turn it into their power. That allows them to transform that into a strength as opposed to something that's hindering you.
Okay. If you wanted
That's
to,
what I felt.
okay. If you wanted to, you could do transformational based leadership.
Okay.
If you wanted to.
Because that word kept coming up, even within education. That was my goal as an administrator, to transform and to transfer leadership that you can duplicate yourself where.
Or you can do transfer. You can do transfer based leadership. Talk about that. Talk about the transference of power. We call it succession planning. When you're transferring leadership, most people don't know how to step into the leadership because they don't have the right kind of training. You're lacking mentorship. You have experience surrounding all of that. So talk about it.
Okay.
Talk about the pain. Talk about the vulnerability. This is what we do as speakers, coaches, and consultants. The more you talk about how hurt you are and how you've been able to overcome all your tragedies, the better speaker that you're going to be. But some of us are embarrassed to talk about our story. Some of us are ashamed to talk about our pain, and you simply got to stop being selfish.
Yeah.
Annette, you've been through a lot. It's called life. No one has been through your particular struggle. Some women will hear your stories. I can't even imagine what it's like to lose my husband. And the way you talked about him, the way you adore him, even to this day, you talk about him like he's still here. That's how I know that he was special. Not just saying that he was special just to be saying it, but I could tell by the way you talk about him that he was a good person. Now, so what you got to do now is you got to take from that. Unfortunately, your path, that was what you had to walk through in order to get to where you are right now. But believe me, the more you share that and all those little finite details and you craft them into a message that works for other people. When we're going through some stuff, it's hard for us not to be selfish because we're so focused on us. What about me? What kind of pain am I going through? How hurt am I? Me. No. Serving other people is about them. The signature program is designed so you can get your ideas out. Let me help you polish them so you can go out there and tell your story the way you want to tell it. I'm just going to help you present it very polished, poised, and professional. Do you have another question?
No, I think that I'll start there. You gave me a lot to work with. And
so go back over. The first thing that you were supposed to do is create the mainstay headline. There's a 5-word formula that you were supposed to create. That's the very first thing you were supposed to do. I don't mind when students skip around, but I would prefer that you go in sequential order.
Yeah, I haven't gone past that because I remembered you saying that, and I just wanted to get clarity on that. Oh, I did have one other question. Sometimes before then I would do tips. Now this may be in a lesson further down, but just on Instagram, I just really started doing a few lives. But I used to do Facebook Live kind of regularly. I still do Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday, and it's just a health tip on. Since my husband passed suddenly from heart disease, I usually will give some information on, how to help yourself. And then last week, the wellness tip was protect your peace, that you still have to make you the priority when it comes to your peace. And so I still do that, but I was wondering, because I heard you mention before too, like the policy, it's just like me talking. So this morning I went live on Instagram because I was exercising, I was walking, and I was like, this is a part of my, my health and wellness that I'm walking.
Right.
So I was like, hey, just, happy mindset Monday, that we got to keep our health as a priority. And I found time to walk, and you guys can just walk with me today. And that was just it. So should I halt that, or still just kind of, because it's just me talking, I'm not in makeup or anything. It's just, when I was working out, you see some sweat. If I'm at church, you may, I'm dressed up. So I was wondering, do I need to curtail that, or?
No, I want you to, that's all part of building a brand. You should be
Okay.
documenting.
Oh, okay.
If you want to drop a video coming from church, do it. If you want to drop a video exercising, working out, do it. You have to show people different things and catch them on different platforms to be able to have them understand what your brand is all about and what your message is going to be consistent. And that's the reason why you should build it. I would say you're going to have even more focus after you finish up your signature programs, because you should be talking about your signature programs. It's important that you provide structure to a meeting planner. You want your social media to be the landing place where meeting planners can come and find out how to relieve their pain, find out how to deal with their stress. A lot of them are going through a lot of things right now. They're in the top 5 when it comes to stress. So get your messaging together and then just keep doing what you're doing, but then start dropping videos that add value to meeting planners, conference coordinators, chair, board, or committee members. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're gonna put a deadline on it to send me over your signature program template so I can check all of your 4 signature programs, all your bullets, and all your opening paragraphs.
Can I get that to you this Friday?
Sure. I mean, a deadline is a forcing system of accountability.
Yeah.
So send it to support@speakerfocus.com. We'll give you some feedback and we'll take it to the next step.
All right. And then one last question, because I want to do, like you said, be intentional with everything. So I had shared with you that I had a podcast that's called Authentically Me, but it was started on my husband's birthday out of the grief. So everything on there is just giving tips of how to get through grief. So, and even when I say it is authentic to me, it's like we're here in a living room where you could be vulnerable, in a space where you could be your authentic self, vulnerable, and know that you have a support. So I want to see how to maybe take that messaging. So then, like you said, if someone says like, oh, the podcast is saying this, she gives tips so that it all meshes.
Okay. So you could do authentication-based leadership.
There we okay.
See, create the signature programs around the brand that you already built and that you already have it. The answers are right there. So those are the kind of signature programs that you want to be able to build your messaging around, because it all ties back into what you're all about. You're giving advice to people. That's what we do as speakers.
Thank you. I think the biggest thing what you've helped me is courage. It's been just feeling, the confidence has been a little shook with things going. So then I'm second guessing. So
exactly. That's it. You're getting in your own way. That happens often on this platform. Welcome to the club.
Okay.
You should you're mired in second guessing. And that's the reason why you haven't sent that signature program template over here. So instead of sending a support ticket, reaching out for help, remember, this is what you invested in us for. You don't have to suffer and struggle, and you don't have to be frustrated about anything. You can submit a support ticket, support@speakerfocus.com. You can literally submit a support ticket every day if you needed to. That's why it's designed the way it is, so we can accommodate your questions. That's the best way for us to serve you. So don't sit in the pain anymore. If you got, I don't care how small the question is, and no question is too stupid. So don't think that. Some students say, oh, KTR, I know you're busy. Well, yeah, I'm always busy, but I'm never too busy for the students on our platform. Ever, not never. It's not never when you're going to send me a support ticket or Austin where we're not going to respond to it. Not ever when you're going to have a question and you don't get the answer in detail. You can always show up on the Monday group call. And for those who can't, you can submit a support ticket and you will receive detailed feedback on how to grow your speaker business. Get out of your own way, Annette. We all have concerns. We all are apprehensive, but you can know that you're always going to have the support so you don't have to sit in that type of energy anymore.
Got it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I believe in you. Send me my homework assignment by Friday and I'll give you some feedback.
Okay.
Okay, keep your head up. Talk to you real soon. Edward Mosley Jr., I see you. And then let me see, let me lower Annette's hand. And then Rico is right after that. Edward, you're in the hot box with KTR and Austin. Talk to us.
What's up, KTR, Austin? How y'all doing tonight?
Super fantastic, bro. How about you?
I'm good. Good. So first of all, I will say I will reach out to you all, over back through the help tickets. So I was able to have the conversation with that potential client.
Okay.
Good. And I when I tell you, I gave her I showed her some avenues and things that she hadn't even thought of when it came to what she was even asking.
Good. Over delivering, brother. That's what it's about.
Yeah. So I was kind of a third part. She was referred to me. I was referred to her from another person. The dude came out asking kind of for some RFIs for, who provides coaching. I threw my name in the hat and I gave them a whole bunch of pre-information. Mm-hmm. And I will say, and I have to say this, I won't say I will say this, I have to say this. Mm-hmm. She was impressed with my web page.
Okay.
And that's what really, that's what really brought her more interested in even talking to me. Yes. But I want to say to everybody on the call right now, the reason my page is the way it is because I 100% followed the modules, the guidelines that's in this community. And I made those tweaks. I had a web page before joining the community, but I made those tweaks to my page after joining the community. And that's what really got her interested. So I had the call. The call went phenomenal.
Nice.
I am the deal is not wrapped up yet, but mm-hmm. I am in she wants another call. And I'm wrapping that thing up. I think we're almost done. Mm-hmm. So we're super there.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Edward. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Three things that the meeting planner is serious, and everybody needs to. You need to pay attention to this, because this is where Edward is to the stage now. He's already had the discovery call. He had the first strategy call. He picked and probed. He asked questions. Clearly, the meeting planner felt like he was a good fit. Edward, your job right now is to stay engaged, and the follow-up process is really critical. So where are you in the process with her at this stage with the follow-up call? And what information did you send her? What information did you send her after the first call?
Right. So we had our call on Friday.
Okay.
And so we are within that, couple days of the call. I have drafted all of my notes from that call. Okay. And I'm about to send it back to her tomorrow morning. So I wanted to give her at least Monday, okay. Kind of Saturday, Sunday, Monday to kind of think about things. And I'm going to go back to her tomorrow with, hey, because we already talked about setting up another call. So we were already there. I got that from her on the call on Friday.
Okay, another quick question. I lost my train of thought, but I got it back. The three things that that the meeting planner is serious. Mm-hmm. Do they have a date to offer you, or was that to be determined?
So the date that they want this coaching program on market for their internal organization is January. They want it online on January.
Okay, they got a date. Okay. Next thing is where's going to be the potential? Okay, you said online, so they have a venue. Your venue is going to be online, not on site. Okay, so that's 2 out of 3 that you got already. These are the symptoms or signs or the characteristics that a meeting planner is serious about hiring you to speak. Number 1, they have a date. Number 2, they have a venue. Whether or not it's online or on site. Number 3, Edward, are you to the point where she's talking about budget, or is that what you're going to talk about on the second call?
No, so Kevin, just to be very, very clear about this, I want to be very clear with everybody on this call about this program.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, I took this thing even to the next level. At this point, we are talking past a speaking engagement. They want me to set up an external coaching program for their entire organization.
So we're talking about repeat business. We're talking about long money, not just one.
Yeah, we're talking about long money. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. No problem. And is that in the, which target market is that in, Edward? Is that in the government contracting market?
No, this is private. This is not government. This is private. So
the corporate.
Right. So again, to the actual modules, she's the North America training, learning and development manager. So her market is like 25 to 3,000 people, but they're worldwide. Got you. So I set that thing up to where, I mean, just using the modules, using all the information out of the modules, step by step. I had my provoking questions, and I asked her, what is it, how can we make a program for her that will make her like a rock star? And she was excited. She was excited. And so I got some valuable information from her to move forward.
Okay. All right, great. Remember this, Edward. What will be a great job, what will be a great idea, I should say, is when you have your follow-up call with her and the information that she gave you, all the pain points, all the things that they're looking for, you're going to fulfill that to the letter. And that's how you're going to start designing the curriculum to do your facilitation and build the coaching program around the very thing that they're struggling with. And then you're just going to fit your signature programs and your skill set that you have. And that's how you're going to put together that curriculum. If you want to send it over to me, our students do that all the time. You want me to check through the curriculum, the slides, what have you. That sounds like a great opportunity. You know, what you want to do right now is just play your position. You know, you've done a great job on the first call. Did you send her over anything like the speaker focus demonstration video? Did you let her know where your sales tools were? Did you let her know that so she's to give her something to think about?
Yeah, so that's what got her. So I sent that all over prior to her even wanting to talk to me.
Pre-selling. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when I tell you the speaker sheet, the modules, how I built the speaker kit, you name it, she was super impressed with that already. Yeah. So I didn't even have to do anything. And you know, I was able to actually find out that even though she's targeting high performers for coaching, her current supervisors are having issues with the current supervisors. So I was even able to get her to talk about gaps from her current supervisors in my signature program. So I got a signature program conversation and a coaching for her high performers conversation going on at the same time.
That's how you know you did a great job through the needs assessment. That's how you know you did a great job at not asking for the booking right up front, which you shouldn't do. You did a great job of being able to listen with a pen in your hand and write down all of the things that you needed to write down. And then you told her how you could potentially be of service to her. And all of this equals out to your signature programs being a great fit for their organization. Edward didn't force it. He already had a line with this particular contact. He applied the knowledge in the coaching program. He was one of the when I send out an example of what your speaker video demo and your website and your speaker info kit should look like, Edward is in the top 20% of students that we have on our platform of one of the examples that I send out of what you should be doing, because he did it right. And as you can hear what he said. What Edward did is called pre selling your professional speaking services. He let the website, the speaker video demo, and the speaker info kit do all the talking for him. And his speaker info kit is fire. It's all broken down. It's high quality professional. Whoever designed it knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what Edward's brand was all about. He has the Countryman microphone wrapped around his cheek. I mean, he did outstanding photo shoots. His content is amazing. He said, this is what it looks like when it's done right. And as you can see, he doesn't have to do talking about himself. All he did was talk about the value he can deliver to the conference coordinator and helping her get out of the pain that she's in. And now he potentially has a performance coaching program and a curriculum that he's going to design for them, as well as some speaking engagements out of it as well. Edward, did you want to add anything else? I don't know how you can top that, but I do.
I do have something else to say, KT. I really do.
Hey, no problem.
I've raised my hand several times and I put it down. But as I listened to the call tonight, it has been in my spirit just to say something to various people on the call tonight.
Yeah,
as I heard them struggling with some things.
Okay.
And I want to talk specifically to some pain points that I'm hearing. I'll leave it like that. You know my story. Austin knows my story. My story is going from broken, the journey of a faith walker, going from broken to healed. And my story is coming from a male's perspective of being a widower. I lost my wife. And I heard Annette, I believe her name is Annette. Anita?
Yeah, Annette.
She lost her husband. So I understand what she's coming from. I heard Tanta talking about how you have saved her life. I've been in all of those thought processes. And one of the things I want to share with the group is my mantra, my whole thing when I first kind of started was the broken man's coach. And that's what I went on, because I wanted to share with people how to go from broken to healed. But in doing that, I had to be authentic, transparent, and vulnerable. And when I did those three things, I was able to get in front of audiences and be my 100% ideal self, because I was helping heal me. The more I shared, the more I became healed, and I helped others heal. So I want to just take this moment to say, hey, you know, some of the toughest battles are given to the strongest warriors. And all we have to do, and I got to give y'all the Speaker Focus program all the accolades I can give them, because you all give a program and a platform where all you have to do is just go through the modules from step 1 to step 6, step 5, and you will hear and see how everything is supposed to be laid out, and it will work. I just finished module 5. I'm in Google Analytics. I'm in all the analytics. I'm in all that I'm in all that stuff. I won't talk about none of that stuff right now, but this moment in time is all about just, we are here as a community to help each other, and we've been through it. And the more we can talk about it, the more transparent we can be about it, the stronger we will be as coaches, as speakers, and we will see true results. I will be quiet now.
Hey, brother, excuse me. I appreciate everything that you share with us. Thanks so much for always willing to show up on a group call. Again, a lot of you have had a lot of success. I'm gonna disable Edward's talking. Edward, thank you so much for sharing that. Excuse me. A lot of you have had tremendous success prior to coming onto the coaching platform. And Edward is a shining example of what happens when this man literally put his ego to the side. I mean, I literally watched him do it on the very first call. He wasn't skeptical He was very optimistic. You could tell he believed in himself. He has great confidence. He is a great speaker and he knew his stuff. He just wasn't sure about the marketing. But see, the very piece that he didn't know about, he just submitted to the platform and he just went through the process without him getting in the way. Edward hasn't one time tried to reinvent the wheel on this platform. He knew that what I was telling him, he wasn't doing it in his speaker business. And a lot of you know that you aren't doing it, but you're still getting in your own way. You got to let go of all these bullshit inhibitions that you have in order for this to work for you. And you got to take it one step at a time. Edward said it about 3 weeks ago. He said, you got to trust the process. And that means you have to do the work. When you're doing the work, yeah, are things going to pop up? Submit a support ticket. Edward's done it. Hey, KTR, am I moving in the right direction? KTR, check this out. Look at this. Austin, look at this. Look at that. You got to go through the whole dance. And you got to have enough endurance to finish. And that's what this program is all about. I don't see any more hands raised. Oh, wait a minute. I apologize, my man Rico. What am I doing? How dare me even attempt? Rico, what's going on, boss?
KTR, you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, man. I hear you.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Hey, great call. I didn't want to go without you. I didn't want to go, I guess, week number 2 or more without you hearing my voice.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure to hear you, man. How you making it this week? How was your weekend, Rico?
Oh, it was better, man. We went through it. I told you it was an interesting week last week, and so, but hey, I don't stop. I just shake the dust off and keep going.
That's what's strong. And, I'm glad the situation is definitely getting better.
Oh, absolutely, man. But yeah, I was calling or just kind of sharing. I just want to say thank you.
Wow.
I just want to say thank you. Because by being in the program, I'm glad I took my time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when you first become a part of a program like this, you get really excited and you want to knock it all out in a month.
Yep.
And I heard it said by a guy by the name of Darnell Self. I heard him say, you can try to eat 30 apples in one day, or you can eat 1 apple a day for 30 days.
Right.
And that's the approach. So I'm kind of glad, man, that I took my time with this. And I told you that the program that I was invited, someone paid it forward, and I shared with you a message how I was on something and people were struggling trying to put their message together. Well, the thing is, and the people, their platform was great. I mean, they focus more on media and stuff like that. But I'm like, right. I was excited because I came kind of already ready.
Yeah.
Like I was already trained by the best.
Yeah.
About how to have my message together. Mm-hmm. That way, when I went through the process, all I had to do was pull from like the speaker program.
Yeah.
On identity-based leadership. So it wasn't like I had to go grab some out of the sky.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give that as a testament to you, man, that I appreciate that. And I also appreciate, one last thing. Yeah. Now when we talk about competition, when you really talk about being niche and as a specialist, I'm finding that this title of identity leadership specialist is unique.
Yes.
Very unique.
Yep.
I looked at when I went online, tried to look at some other people who were like identity specialists or identity leaders.
Yeah.
I saw Stedman Graham. His book, Identity Leadership. I'm like, well, okay, well, I see what it is, but I see it's a little bit different. So I just wanted to really have a question, but I just want to just testify and tell you I appreciate it. And even so today, I found out you really helped me kind of like with the coaching kind of program. I was working with somebody. They finished up the 8 sessions today, the last session. And so I upsold them on like the remaining three. I have 4 eyes, right? So identity is one of them. So now I was upsold them. And so now I got to send you a support ticket because the guy was like, hey, I enjoyed it so much. I don't want to do a week to week. Can we do like maybe like a whole 8 hours or maybe like a couple of days or something like that for the next phases? So
right.
I'll be sending that in to you, but it's all love. I just wanted to say I appreciate it. And, you know, you're the best, man. I appreciate you, Coach.
Hey, man, listen, the bottom line is we appreciate you and we thank you for the compliments. And the thing about it is you're not a real leader unless you make other people great leaders around you. You're not a real leader unless you teach other people how to get money. I want everybody to be great. I want everybody to be the best. And that's the kind of leadership position that I take. Rico, you know, you can a lot of times, Rico, you still there?
I'm still here. You hear me?
Oh, Rico, remember this about the coaching program later down the line. But what's happening with you, and I see this as a reoccurring theme, and this is not bad, it's good. Because a lot of times what happens is all these business opportunities are popping up for you, Rico, because you're a great communicator. You got a big network. You know, you're moving and shaking, talking to all these high profile people all the time, and they're getting a whiff of what you're doing. And they're like, well, Rico, I just don't want you to come speak for an hour. I want you to do consulting. I want you to do coaching. It's all giving advice just in different capacities. But as you can see, what's happening is you are literally, Rico, being forced, and it keeps coming up like often. You're literally, you're getting pulled into designing a coaching program. You're getting pulled into, Rico, we need your advice for consulting. And they may not want an hour keynote speech. They may not want a 2-hour educational keynote. They may want to hire you for an on-site strategic work session. They may want to hire you for executive coaching. So you're going to literally, you can start designing curriculum just out of a request for one client and literally create a coaching program out of that. And if you're not doing that right now, you haven't been listening to the voices in your head telling you, Rico, you got a lot to offer. So when these clients are asking you for things, man, you can literally create a curriculum for that over the weekend and send it over to me. I got an outline for you to follow and to structure it the right way, and you can start monetizing that later down the line.
I got you.
Because
that curriculum, that's because that's what it was. See what it is. You know, with my book, with the book, your God-given identity, it actually transferred to a workbook, which was actually me walking them through with it one session a week.
Yeah.
So that's how that situation worked out. And then because of the value that he got, even after the second week from it, I'll admit to you, I'll admit to you, I did put my foot in my mouth in a bit because I normally charge $3 for that, $3,000, right?
Right.
For me to do that.
Okay.
Well, since I knew it, I didn't realize it, but I did give him like a deal. I gave him a percentage off. Okay. He reminded me of it. So this time, when we did the upgrade, I said, you know what? Now that he wants me to do this for like whether a whole day or half day, I know that's going to be about at least 10K, close to 10K for me to do that. You know what I mean? So,
and remember, absolutely. Rico, when you have a high ticket coaching offer, 5, 10, 15, 20K or more. The most I've ever spent on training was a boot camp, right?
Right.
And I was gone for 5 days on an island. So it was a beautiful experience, but you're going to pay for higher level knowledge, but always be willing to offer them payment options. So absolutely. people don't get afraid of a high ticket coaching program price when it has value, but sometimes they're just not in a position for whatever the circumstances where they can't pay it all up front. And if they can't pay it up front, then you offer them a payment option that is not stressing them, that is still going to allow them to engage with you to be able to get your services. See, when you over deliver, people will find your money. And it's just that simple. That's it. Because they realize the difference between the BS that's floating out there in the market right now, and they cannot go anywhere else to get that. And that's the reason why. What did you just say to me, Rico? I want you to think about it. And if you forget, back it up around 2 hours and 31 minutes into this video. No, about 2 hours and 25 minutes into the video. You said, when I'm searching my identity-based leadership, I'm pulling up 7 grand. Like nobody else is really coming up. See, with your signature programs, that's how you create some separation and some market differentiation. And you have that already. Right. You have to keep building on the momentum. Stay in the cut, keep your head down, be patient, keep dropping content in front of the microphone. I love everything you're doing right now, bro. You're finding your strength in your messaging. I see it happening with, and it keeps coming up with the coaching and the consulting. See, remember, that's called the golden triangle system. Speaking, coaching, and consulting. Do you know how easy it is to hit 6 and 7 figures if you got all 3 of them popping at the same time? Rico, it's just staggering the kind of numbers that you can put together when you follow the golden triangle system, and you are speaking, earning revenue. You're coaching with a strong curriculum, and you're offering consulting. It's very, very powerful.
Appreciate that, Coach.
Proud of you,
got
brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. The next thing on your to-do list, what is it that you have to accomplish, and when you gonna send it into me?
Yeah. My speaker demo video.
Okay.
My speaker video for because you already approved the demo.
Okay.
So I actually gotta get the
you gotta get the final version in. Uh-oh, Rico, your phone
info kit and speaker demo. So
okay.
I'm going to a bad area.
No, you're good. It's back. It's back now.
Okay, yeah. So the speaker info kit, I got my pieces. I just had to get one more piece of me actually in action.
Okay.
Of some sort. And then now the speaker video, what I did was I made sure, because I'm like this. Hey man, I know you can try to work where you are, but I'm like this. You already know this even when I first got in this program. I had to believe for everything I got. and even when I didn't have, because I believed so strong, ways were made. And so if I didn't have it, somebody else blessed me with it.
Yep.
So when so for me, I was like, look, if I'm gonna put something out there, yeah, I'm not gonna be like big baller shot caller, but I also understand that it's a crowded space, and people, what's gonna make you be different? And I did share the information or the video example that Big Ben gave on the platform. Yep. So I've already talked to the video guy, and I've talked to the photographer too, as well. So I think we're gonna do something on the same day.
Yeah,
they both know each other.
Yeah, Ben Hall's speaker video demo is phenomenal, bro. His team,
absolutely.
His team crushed it. Now Ben has a person that he's been working with for a while. This is graphic designer and his editor. He gets him the content, and he can produce those kind of results that is in alignment with his brand. And you're doing the same exact thing, Rico. You're finding yourself through these signature programs, and you're taking the steps. So when do you think you'll be able to have the final version of your speaker video demo complete?
Final version, I'm gonna say this. Give me, because I got a couple of big things coming up right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, give me that first. What is November the 8th? That Monday.
Yeah, let me check right now on the calendar.
That's Monday. I'm just saying by that date or before that. I should have the final version recorded and done by then.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So we'll get situated. And then I got my guy for the speaker info kit. He's a graphic designer. He actually did the design for my workbook.
Okay.
So So I'm actually going to have him do the speaker info kit, and I should be done with that as well. Those are pretty much the only two things I will say. Probably where I did get a little hung up on was the video, was the free video, the 30-minute video.
Ah, you talking about the the video sales letter.
Yeah, the video sales letter, and then I got one of the blogs done, but now I think I finally got the 2 other content to make them 3 of my blog videos.
Okay.
And I got them done. And now I just got to do. I was just wondering about that video. Kind of like, is it better if I do it like via Zoom? Would I have the slideshow and maybe like my picture in the corner?
Right.
Or knowing me, I kind of like to write while I teach.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know what you got to do? You got to try some different versions. I like when you do it on Zoom and you put your whole presentation up there and then it puts a little box of you in the corner. Or you can just not run the video at all. You can just let your voice, and just flip the slides and you're just doing the narration through the slides and you're teaching about the value. There's all kinds, you know what, bro? Try different ways and then see what the market is responding to. Don't just eliminate processes before you put it out there. And the beautiful part about it is that if it's not working, if it's not converting, you can always shoot it over. Man, you know how many different pieces of content that Austin has had me create for our sales funnel? And I don't care. Hey, yo, KTR, try it this way. Yo, do me a favor. Try it walking down the steps. Try it when you're at the marina down at your neighborhood. Try it here. Try it there. And I just keep doing everything I can do to give him the content. I don't know what's going to work, Rico, when I shoot it. But Austin's going to put it to the test. You can believe that for sure. And then the market's going to start telling you this particular video, this particular picture, this copy, this one paragraph, especially on Facebook, Pixel is going to collect all the data and it's going to tell you it's running literally 5,000 different versions of your ad on a nonstop basis. But then the Pixel is going to come back and say, the data is going to say, this picture, Rico, works for this particular target audience because it's going to start showing you all of the analytics of what's converting. And they're going to tell you, Rico, we need to put in this picture in front of this audience because this is going to actually make you money and at the same time driving your ad costs down. It's all a game, bro. And you got to go through the whole dance. That's why you need to do everything Austin tells you in module number 5. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Because all it's going to do is make you money.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to hear nothing about it's not about the money. Running the business is about money. And we want you to be profitable.
Yes, sir.
You got it?
Huh. Don't give me, don't give me that church talk. Don't give me that charity talk.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear charity. No charity.
I don't want to hear no charity. I don't want to. Listen, bro, I get people to get mad at me on a week-to-week basis that's not built to do this business. When they say, well, KTR, it's not really all about the money. I don't want to speak for the money. And they get mad when I say, well, are you Mother Teresa? Are you Father O'Flanagan? Do you run a ministry? Because if you don't, then when you're in this industry, this is for profit. And by the way, nonprofit is very profitable if you do it the right way. But most people don't know how to do it. So the bill collectors don't want to hear that I'm speaking for free. Try that when your mortgage is due, when your rent is due, when the water, gas, electric, utilities are ready to get cut off. I've been in situations where all of it's been cut off. Repo man has snatched my car. And I've been evicted before, foreclosure multiple times. Don't talk to me about it's not about the money. I don't run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel because I don't know how to take care of business. Now we're teaching you how to do the same exact thing. Speakers are not successful because they don't operate a real business entity. They just want to talk and run their mouths. We teach you how to run a speaker business from the bottom all the way to the top. And every single facet of this is going to be right before you get in front of a meeting planner, and you got our guarantee on that. How about that, Rico?
Hey, I have no doubt, absolutely, positively, the absolute best. So with that being said, hey, I just want to tell you, it has been amazing.
Rico, stay on the editor. Stay on the editor and get your speaker video demo done. and turn it in. We look forward to seeing the results. Stay focused, brother.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
All
Michael Ramson, I'm gonna be right with you, brother. I'm gonna be right with you. Michael, are you there?
I am here, sir.
Michael, do me a favor. I gotta take a small break. I will be right back. Just give me a second, okay?
Sure thing.
All right. I appreciate your patience. This is probably gonna be our last question of the night, unless anybody else has a question or comment that they have. We can shut it down when we got our last question. Michael, I'll be right back. Thank you, sir. All right, Mike, let's do it. Let's finish up strong.
All right, sir. Mr. KTR, how are you, sir? Thank you for taking me.
I'm doing super fantastic.
And so good to hear. I'm learning so much. I'm a lifelong learner anyway. A lot more going on than I thought. So this is about my 13th day. I'm learning a lot about the process and your experience. Thank you again. I feel a little anxiety over having experience in a number of different professional areas in my life. And so that gives multiple experiences that I can share and promote once I get there. But now, after creating my mainstay headline, I feel my signature program, it might change. I mean, I feel I'm starting in, the signature programs are 4 in 4 areas.
Okay.
That I might move into other areas. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that. It's kind of stagnated me just a little bit. And I know it's within 2 weeks or so, by a day or so. They may possibly change. What are your thoughts on that? I'm kind of struggling with that internally.
Okay, no problem. Well, that's very normal, Michael, when you have a gentleman of your professional distinction with your kind of experience, and you are a top performer, high income earner. When you've been through the journey that you've been through, and you're very exceptionally skilled at sales, obviously you have supreme oratorical skills, elocution, presentation, you're very articulate, then you're going to struggle at times with just overthinking things. And then, a lot of times we don't want to simplify things because that's too easy, but that's what I'm telling you to do. So I know that when I looked at your signature programs today, oh, by the way, did you see my reply? I responded to your support ticket today.
Yeah, I did.
I told you, tough love, detail. But I told you what I wanted you to do. Now, it's okay.
Well, I thought I did that.
No,
apparently not.
Well, you just didn't. The bullets were not written in third person the way they were supposed to read to the meeting plan or conference coordinator. The baseline of you had great content, you had great ideas. They just need to be spruced up a little bit. You can't have bullets that are vague, and you can't have bullets that are very thin. And when I say thin, it's not enough verbiage to describe what the outcome is going to be. And that's what you should do more of. And then you didn't complete the assignments. And I know you were just trying to give me a taste to see if you were going in the right direction,
right,
which was a great idea. Now, I will say this. If you're going to start messing around with the recipe, now is the time to do it. You don't have your signature program solidified. We didn't approve all your signature programs. You still have a lot of verbiage that you have to build out, opening paragraphs, all the bullets, things of that nature. So what I would do is this. I would focus on one primary area, and maybe you could have a couple of subsets under that area. So if I had to ask you a question, what do you feel most strongly about under the flag of leadership? What is that going to be? In other words, like when you cross the 50 mark the way we are, Michael, you know, this is about legacy. So what is it about your legacy that you want people to know most? Because these YouTube videos and all this content you're producing, it's literally going to last forever. Literally going to last forever. So what is the main thing that you want people to know about you, about one of your leadership topics? The thing that's broken the most that you want to fix. What is that?
Well, I would like to leave a path that people could always go to, even in the distant future, to get information and to have a roadmap to follow to success, to follow their dreams, something that's timeless.
Okay. So why don't you create a signature program called Timeless Based Leadership? And why don't you create the verbiage inside of Timeless Based Leadership to let people know of how to manage their, that could be a time management program if you want, under the flag of leadership. If it's important to you the way it is, I'm gonna give you a good example. What's important to me is that all of my clients stay organized and that they clarify their focus. That's what's important. I want them to organize their focus. I want them to have a clear vision. That's why my slogan is magnifying success in your personal and professional vision. Leadership strategies that magnify success. I teach strategies. I strategize, just like I'm doing with you right now. I'm giving you options. I'm working on a strategy with you to help build your messaging. And then I work on leadership strategies that do what? That magnify. I want to make bigger what you're doing right now. I want to magnify what? I want to magnify your level of success. So your mainstay headline should reflect the very thing of what you feel like you was put on this earth to do. Now, if that is, watch this, you could do leadership techniques that achieve timelessness. I mean, that's just an example. Or leadership pillars that maximize time. If that's your thing about timelessness, then do that. I know you're gifted in sales and many other areas. This is a big problem that speakers have. They're so talented that they don't focus on the main thing. What is your main passion? All I care about is people focusing on their goals. I've dedicated my entire life. I've built an entire training system around. There's a lot of other speakers out here to speak about focus. Some people have written a book called The Power of Focus. Some people use focus in their program, but nobody from top to bottom. There's not one person who is America's leading focus expert. That's me. I built an entire brand off of being focused. So you're going to have to do the same thing. So you have to simplify, Michael. Don't overcomplicate it. Your skill set is your skill set. You're good at what you are. And I believe that a lot of times speakers fall victim to this very thing. They're so worried about what other speakers are doing. You got to get those thoughts out of your mind. You got to be in your own thoughts, and you got to be confident in the journey and the experience that you had. That's all I care about. In getting to the core root of what you want to speak about, it's already inside of you. But you're going to keep getting in your way, overanalyzing and overthinking it. You're going to keep having this problem. And that's indecision is a dream killer in itself. And it wastes a lot of time. So are you going to go with timeless based leadership?
I'll have to consider that. I mean, that's a good one. I wrote it down. I mean, I have strengths and then I have talents.
Okay.
And
what are you talking about? Consider it. What are you talking about? Consider it. Is it what you were put on this earth to do? Is it your main passion? If you got to tell me if timeless.
Well, no, it is my passion, but aren't there other ways to actually title it?
Yes, it is. It is. You can come up with a lot of ways to title it. What I want is the main thing that you want to speak about. Whatever that main thing is, we need to find out what that main thing is. That's all I care about right now.
Right.
Focus on that and then break it down into 4 particular topics. And then
create. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Okay.
You see what I'm talking about? My main thing is focus. So I create all of my programs are focus based. All of them are. I talk about leadership under all the focus-based programs. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, leadership is the way to go. So I'm going with that. I'm following your lead. I did a little research. Leadership, everything says leadership everywhere. So that's where I'm going.
Because that's what earns the revenue. That's what earns the lion's share. This is what these meeting planners want. They want to hire you for your expertise. So you have to make it clear throughout your signature programs of what you're offering.
Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, but there's 4, so I can't put timeless on each signature program in the title, right?
No, you're going to do one of them can be timeless based leadership.
Right.
Let me ask you another question. Watch this. What is the biggest thing that you see that leaders struggle with when they are managing their careers? In your observation over your career, what is the main thing that you feel like leaders struggle with in their career?
They struggle with communicating with their staff or their subordinates.
Okay, so now another one is you can call it communication-based leadership. See what I just did? See, that's how simple it is. That's how simple it is to create a title. Now you're going to describe what deficiencies and limitations, and you're going to point out the characteristics of these limitations and deficiencies and how your signature programs can help remedy this dysfunction. That's what these signature programs can do. Michael, you're masterful at this. You know how to fix it. You've observed all of this stuff throughout your career. You're a peak performer and a high income earner. You understand this. You're in rare air. There's a handful of people in the world that earn the kind of money that you earn. Period.
It ain't that much.
Hey, okay, well, watch this. Compared to the average salary of an African-American male, it's $48,000 to $55,000. You're far from that, brother. You telling me it's not a, you telling me, come on, you on the whole other, stop, Michael. You on the other end.
Yeah, but I hear you. But I'm just a little confused. And yeah, I may be
simplify.
I'm overthinking this.
Simplify it, Michael, because you're an accelerated learner. That's what happens when you're intelligent and you're smart. All of you do it to yourselves. I'm telling you that when my thoughts get jumbled and I got too much on my plate, the very first thing I do is eliminate everything that does not serve the main focus. If I'm writing an article about basket weaving, why am I talking about anything else other than supporting the topic or the theme of what I'm writing about? And speakers do it to themselves all the time. If you're talking about, what was the other one what was the title we just came up with?
Communication-based leadership.
Communication-based leadership, and the other one, again,
timeless-based leadership.
Timeless-based leadership. So if I'm talking about timeless-based leadership, I'm talking about all the things that revolve around how we take time for granted. In this, watch this, in this accelerated and educational-based program, this accelerated and educational-based program is designed for the 21st century leader who struggles with blah, 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 blah. In this session, what you're going to learn to do is create more available time. Learn how to utilize, learn how to free up more discretionary time. You're going to learn how to galvanize team communication throughout your organization. After this program,
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is all benefit language to the meeting planner or conference coordinator, every last bit of it. And that's how your bullets should be constructed in third person. It's got to have value. But first, you got to get the idea out, and then you got to let us polish up the bullets, give you some advice on how they should be written. Go back and read the signature program template several times before you start creating. Create your mainstay headline. and then go back and create all the titles to your signature programs. Then go back and fill in all the bullets. Then go back and create your opening paragraphs and your bullets. After this program, you will be able to do not repeat the bullets and watch out for word redundancies. And by the time you fill out the entire signature program template and you get all of your ideas out, send it over to me. And then I'll polish it up. I'll give you some feedback. We go back and forth about 2 or 3 times and you're going to be done. But you cannot continue to just Michael, this is what students do. You know how the wheel just keeps spinning and it's buffering when your signal is messed up on your phone?
Right.
The page won't load.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You're in buffering mode. You got to get out of buffering mode. Come on, indecision is a dream killer. You cannot sit over there and sit on these ideas another 2 weeks because you don't understand the template. This is what we're here for, to help you every single day. I don't care if you submit a support ticket every day. This is what we're here to do. You're going to send it over to me and I'm going to do just what I did when I reviewed. I'm going to give you specific instructions on what to do and what not to do. Eventually, you're going to get it right. And your messaging is, you're going to settle on something that feels good to you. If you don't come up with signature programs that is about supporting your legacy, then you're doing it wrong. Right. You got to talk about stuff you feel. You got to talk about inadequacies that you see, some type of injustice in leadership. What are these people doing that you feel like they should be doing? What if you ran the company? What if you were the boss? What if it was your company? How would you right those wrongs? Those are things that you should be doing, because, man, meeting planners love it when they have a male or female that comes in and has command over their content. And they know that they hired you because they brought you in because your signature program spoke to the very pain that they're going through every single day without you having to say one word. That's how important it is, Michael, to get the messaging right to your signature programs. Am I clear?
Yeah, you are. So real quick here, and thank you for that. I'm writing it all down. So those bullet points, I think of bullet points of just plain points. They're actually paragraphs, sentences, or thoughts. It's not like because it's a bullet point in that format. It's just one line. Is that what you're saying in third, and also in the third voice?
Yes, in the third person. Example. Here's what your bullets. Here's how your bullets should read. Timeless-based leadership, for instance. Okay. Learn how to maximize the moment. Learn how to maximize the moment. Get the most use out of your calendar and crush your goals within a 24-hour period. That's giving back to the meeting planner. That's an example of what I want you to do with your bullets. When the meeting planner reads it, they've got to be clear about what they're going to learn. Oh my God, he's telling me how to crush our goals within a 24-hour period. He's telling us how to live in the moment. Yeah, I hear that all the time, but he's actually going to show me how to do that. Yes, timeless-based leadership. By the way, that title is very disruptive. I've done thousands of these sessions where I help students, and not one time have I ever heard timeless-based leadership. Not once ever have I ever come up with that title, but it's based upon what you said. You listen to your voice. I listen to your vocal inflection with the way you said it. I want this stuff to be timeless. The way you said it was like, this is important. So why not create a signature program around something that's important to you?
Right.
Michael?
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Don't tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel, brother. It's in here. It's in your heart. It's in your spirit. It's in your soul. It's in your work experience. If you start telling me what you think, you're going to go wrong. You got to get the emotion out.
Right.
Dig in there and get the pain. Think about before that you became successful and a high performer. Think about when you weren't. Think about how many people in your audience are going to be struggling to find their footing just like you were at one point in your life. That's all I want you to do. I want you to simplify, find that, and then put those ideas down and send it over to us so we can give you some feedback.
That sounds good. I'm definitely going to use that. I don't want to hold you, but real quick here, and yeah, that's incredible. And so, you know, what you just shared with me, the after this program, you'll be able to, and then learn how to maximize and then get the most out of it. Those are bullet points, or all that's in one, you know, in one area. And then you go to the next bullet point.
That's in a book. That's right. That's one bullet that I just gave you.
Okay. That's what I was kind of threw me off. I got it.
Yep. And when you create your opening paragraphs, remember, inside of the signature program template, there are examples of how to create the opening paragraphs and how to create the bullets. If you read them and say, the light bulb's going to go off. That's what KTR is talking about. Third person, value to the meeting planner. And you're just going to take your topic, stay on topic, create the descriptions, and then send me over the verbiage. Don't be too hard on yourself. If it's not right, I'm going to tell you it's not right. I'm going to give you specific instructions of how to improve it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it, sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. I'm trying to make it perfect.
Don't be embarrassed.
But that didn't work out too well.
Hey, Michael, you have to abandon all of that, bro. Ego, you gotta let go of the ego. You can't, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you. I'm not trying to embarrass you. You don't have to be embarrassed to send it over. When you finish, I tell you this, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. It's going to be worth it, but you're going to be thanking me when we're all finished, that I'm pulling this out of you, that I'm telling you to put the ego aside and get out of your way. That's the reason why people have a difficult time handing in their assignment, because they're sitting in their own pain and they won't get out their own way. I want you to speak from the pain, because that's going to provide the healing. You were not born perfect. Perfectionism is another thing that stymies your growth. And it happens to all people who are thinkers like you, accelerated thinkers. Perfectionism, you got to employ some relaxed control. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be effective. So let's just take some pressure off. You don't need to be good or great at communication. Out of good or great, I'd rather you be effective. You need to get your point across. Business modes of communication should be articulated with clarity and conciseness. You are clear when you speak, and you got to speak in power phrases and sound bites. Within the parameters of your word sequence, you should be speaking in power phrases and sound bites. These are simple things that people are going to remember to take away from your message.
Right.
Oh, I remember Mr. Ramsey, he talked about timeless-based leadership. That's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember the sound bites and the power phrases. You got it?
Yes, sir. Even though it's my second week, I feel like I should be a little further along, but I'm going to just take your advice.
Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Let me tell you something. I could call out some people on this platform that did the same exact thing. See, you want to go fast, and that's going to kill you on this platform. You think that you're supposed to have certain amount of work done in a week. If you can get it done in a week, great. So watch this. Let's pick a deadline on when we're going to hand in the signature program template. It's okay, Michael. You're struggling. This is natural. You're a top performer. You're struggling with submitting to the system. It's because it's new. It's going to feel more comfortable as time goes on. A deadline is a forcing system of accountability. So when are you going to turn in your next version of your speaker info kit? You're going to be on round 2 this time. So when are you going to turn it in?
I'll have it in no later than Saturday or Sunday. No later than Sunday.
There we go. And I'll have feedback for you by Monday before the next group call. I have some feedback for you. I'll go over it and I'll give you some feedback on what's going on. Just listen, let go of all the inhibitions. Get out of your own way. You don't have to be embarrassed about anything on this platform. We all have got to start somewhere to build the messaging. I'd rather take a hit on the ego and get it right? And then move forward and have your signature program strong. They have the real value to the meeting planner and sit in a little bit of pain and discomfort. This is no different from any other sacrifices you've been through. But
I got it. The difference you're right. Maybe embarrassed was a little the wrong word. I just feel like I'm not getting this, and I'm not understanding why I'm not getting it. But that's not true. That's not true. You sent feedback. It just felt uncomfortable when I told you that you did it wrong. You didn't have it all the way right, but you didn't have it all the way wrong. Right. That's it. You got to make some adjustments based upon the information I just shared with you in the call, and then send it back over. And then we'll go ahead and move on from there. Next Monday, you'll be feeling differently about it. All you got to do is just follow the instructions. See, it's more so the format
You had great ideas. You just didn't follow the format with the way I wanted you to present it. Once you make that minor adjustment and then you simplify and come up, put the timeless-based leadership in there and some other things, and then you're going to be straight.
Gotcha.
You got
All
it?
right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time and everybody on board that's here. And then I'm glad to be here. I'm gonna be working on it. Thank you.
You got it, boss. You can always count on this. Always. I look forward to seeing some feedback from you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. It's on the way. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Michael. Have a great evening, brother.
You too, bud.
Okay. Peace. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay. We're all in it together, and that's just the way it works. We are all in it together. So now, everybody, this has been another phenomenal group call. I want to thank all of you who do show up on the group call, even those of you who don't say anything, but the group call is super important. You see your fellow students struggling. You all struggle. Again, everybody struggles with the signature program, so don't feel bad. All of you. There are exceptions to the rule, but I'm telling you right now, you're talking about 2 to 5% of the people who are exceptions to the rule that they send their signature programs over with the entire template filled out on round number 1. And I say approved because they're beautifully written. They follow the instructions and they're skilled writers. You're talking about learning the skill of copywriting when you're not really good at copywriting. And that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. But you got to trust the process and go with the flow and follow the template and the formula. I give the specific instructions to talk to you, and the videos are there to talk to you when I'm not there. But you can always show up on the Monday group call, and you can always submit support tickets. And that is not the promise of this platform. That's a guarantee. You are going to learn and you are going to grow. If you want it, you're going to grow and you're going to learn. Not going to be comfortable going through the process, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Jonathan, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Everybody else on the platform, on behalf of the team at speakerfocus.com, we truly appreciate you. And we will see you right here, same time, same place on the Monday group Q&A call where we answer any and every question to grow your speaker business. And we are so happy and proud to do it. I'll see you next week.